I'm in Liverpool to meet Stephen French, a notorious gangster from Liverpool who specialised in the perfect crime, robbing drug dealers, known in the underworld as taxation. In the 80s, these streets used to belong to Stephen French. Now, it's one of the most deprived ghettos in the UK, and Stephen is still widely recognised by the locals. In November 2007, he was visiting a friend when he was targeted by a hit squad and chased into the park.
I took off like Kano, got into the park, right? And I see them close to the trees, I'm there, but then they've come. This is how I know that they were fucking serious individuals, Dan. They turned the lights on into the park, and then one of them's got out, and he's obviously got a handgun. The other one, but he's got a long coat on, right? And I've seen him flick his coat, so I know he's got a shotty, yeah? I'm thinking, fuck me, I've got none. And there's a pond over there.
Yeah.
So I've got into the pond. The water's up to there, so you can't see me legs. I've got a 3/4 length coat on, I put it over me, and I'm lying by the rocks. See, I'm right in front of you, but you can't see me. Fucking wicked. Subterfuge and misdirection, right? Two of my oldest friends. And I'm looking through the buttonhole on my coat, and I could see them, right? And I had apprehension, but not fear. And it's a Japanese thing. I've got my phone. I'm hiding the lights on my phone, and I'm saying to the but audio up, just sound your fucking siren. Just sound your siren.
Yeah.
That'll be enough.
That's enough, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've come out to the pond. I'm wet up to there. Right? And then they've gone, on the fucking floor now, on the floor now. I said, I'm getting on the floor for nobody. My name's Stephen French. I phoned you, I'm not armed, and I'm not getting on the floor. On the floor. I said, I'm not getting down. I'm not getting on the fucking floor. Come and say it to me, I'm not getting on the floor. I survived that attempt. I've survived over 6 or 7 attempts on my life, but they was there to fucking whack me proper.
Yeah.
I had no idea that taking a stroll in the park with Stephen would be so dangerous. French wanted to show me where the front line of the riots were on Upper Parliament Street, but he was feeling uneasy about all the attention we were getting.
The camera draws attention.
Yeah.
I don't want to get, user professionals, don't want to get you drawn into my shit, so we'll be quick, in and out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Good boy.
All right.
Good man, okay.
After only a few minutes, French pulls the plug. He feels that he's putting himself and me in unnecessary danger. Stephen had agreed to give me a unique insight into his past as an underworld taxman. Now I was on my way to meet him in a secret location in the suburbs. I didn't know it yet, but I was only minutes away from one of the maddest experiences of my life.
I've asked Danny Dyer to meet me here this afternoon, right, with a view to showing him a taxation scenario. These are the things that are actually going on today. They're quite horrific and scary, but this is the insight that I want the viewer to have, and those of the squeamish should look away.
This is the first time a real-life taxation scenario has ever been shown on TV. Stephen was taking a big risk by opening up this side to me, but I got the feeling he was on his own journey to atone for some of the things that happened in the past.
This guy is known as the tax man. His nickname was the Devil, and there was a reason for that, in the fact that, he used to rob drug dealers, and he used to, torture them. I don't know what he used to do to them, but, I need to get a sense of that. Obviously not too much, you know what I mean?
It's time to get into character. It's time for the switch to be flipped. I don't want to scare the guy. I don't want to glamorize taxation, but I want to show the nitty-gritty, nuts and bolts of what actually used to take place.
Here we go. Bit of taxation. Right, let's have it. So the door's already open, so it's like, okay, sweet, let's go in. Straight away,
yeah. Even if you want to start struggling, right? If I put it on you now, Dan, you're gone. Yeah. I'm only holding you, yeah. Right? But it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Straight
lifted.
away.
You're going to be awake for about 3 seconds. You lifted, you put down in a chair, right? And then the individual, the people that had him would secure him in the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah? Hands and feet to secure him in the chair, yeah? Keep him quiet, but they leave his eyes open. I've had some geezers, and they started to mouth off. blah, 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 who do you think you are, blah, 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 blah. And I just jammed their eye. You get me? Just jammed their eye. And just, you know, give them some sharp pain, right? And say to them, well, you know, shut up, because next time your eye will come out. Next time I'll pop your eye out. If you want to come out to this unscathed, behave yourself, be respectful. The individual that now had you would be dressed in head to toe in black. They'd have a black balaclava and black gloves on, right? And you wouldn't be able to see who they were. They'd have a really large kitchen knife, yeah? And the first thing to do would walk over to you and they'd show you the knife and put the knife down, yeah? And then the rhetoric possibly would go something like this. I fucking hate drug dealers. I fucking hate people that sell drugs to children and they ruin communities. But I fucking love money. I'm here to relieve you of your cash. If you don't give me your cash, really horrible, nasty things are going to happen to you. But it's all a matter for you. I don't want to have to harm you. I don't want to have to hurt you. But you're poisoning communities. You're killing people. And you're getting fat and rich off it. And that disgusts me. You disgust me. So it's a matter for you. I've got a phone here. Fresh, clean phone, never been used. You're gonna call your stash minder, whether it's your fucking granny, your ma, your bird, your best pal, and you're gonna make it good. And you're gonna tell them, in about an hour, someone's coming to pick up the money. You're going to have to act like you've never fucking acted before. And if you use any codes, like I know you're referred to as Danny, if you say something like it's Daniel on the phone, I know you're using a code. Don't fucking try any of that shit, because I've been here before. I'm a professional. This is what I do. And this is how the individual will be made to feel. You'll be overwhelmed psychologically. And if you don't do that, this is what's going to happen to you.
Stephen's told us not to broadcast what he's whispering in my ear. It's too upsetting. But I can tell you, it's not something I'll forget.
It's up to you. Something along those lines, Dan, yeah?
Well, I'd pull up the dough immediately. I'd pull up the dough, man. I'd just think...
To my shame, and to my embarrassment, it's stripping them of the dignity. I've had a 17-stone fucking bodybuilder come in and shit his kecks. You get me? Proper mess his trousers. Piss himself because they don't know what's going to happen. And this is why taxation is such a nasty, evil activity. I regret it 100%. And one of the reasons why I'm speaking about it now, I'm being quite graphic about it, is to bring it to the wider public of what it's all about.
Yeah, I've just got a sense of what that could be like, and I just think
you know, if it's done correctly, nobody gets hurt physically. But I actually believe, in retrospect, the emotional and mental damage that it can cause to an individual leaves me ashamed.
I mean, it's hard to feel sorry for a smack dealer, do you know what I mean? But you would think, you know, that is the worst case scenario. I don't see how you come back from that. I can't really understand how anyone wouldn't pull up the dough or wouldn't do as they're told, do you know what I mean? That's freaked me out a little bit. That's done me. I feel a bit sick. I feel like I'm going to chuck my breakfast up.
Stephen's enemies have gone to great lengths to assassinate his character, even tagging the walls with graffiti, accusing him of being a police informer.
Being called the grass is like someone calling you a paedophile. And then once that label's put on you, you're fair game to be shot.
This home footage shows just what he thinks of the person responsible.
A little skulking little bitch that runs around in the evening painting shit on the wall about a man that he's so jealous of, so envious of. The greenness is oozing out of you.
The bitterness against Stephen and his family runs deep with the new generation in Toxteth. I wanted to track down who these kids were that now control the streets and find out for myself what they think of Stephen. A gang of them agreed to speak, provided their identities were hidden.
I heard he come here the week right there where we're standing now. And he got shot at and that, so you tell me if he come through here again, I don't know what would happen. He might have been feared back in the day, but obviously it's 2008 and things have changed and he's not feared no more. Stephen French is a grass. He's a pussy.
These kids were hiding behind their masks, but Stephen still has to take their threat seriously. Today, Stephen has been invited to speak to a delegation of high-profile criminologists and academics to help spread his anti-gun message. In his friend's memory, he plans to open the Andrew John Memorial Skills Centre to prevent teenagers from following in his footsteps.
Will it be a happy ending or one to regret? Success, prison or death, I need to watch how
It's a humbling and a liberating experience to be invited to speak here today.
He hopes the speech will help raise funding for the Skills Centre.
I have to bear responsibility and culpability in the rise of the phenomenon known as gun crime. I'm 6'3", 225 pounds of prime black male. And how could a 10-stone drug dealer protect himself from a guy like me, former British, European and world kickboxing champion? How he did it is he armed himself. 1994, my daughter was born and I had an epiphany. I knew I had to turn my life around. My options were success, death, or jail. Me personally, I want to show them the way to success. I want to show them the road to success. Success as a bricklayer, success as a plumber, success as a carpenter. All areas of success that don't lead to jail or death and don't lead to a life of drugs or pistolero. This is done to shock and horrify, yeah? This is a t-shirt that several young men had made that have made an attempt on my life because I'm standing up to be counted and giving an anti-gun message. R.I.P. Stephen French. Such is my determination, I've changed R.I.P. to really increase the peace. Thank you very much for this time and effort.
In today's gang wars, the rules of engagement have changed radically since Stephen's day. I've learnt that teenage gangs fear no one, and they'll shoot you to prove it. Stephen is nearly 50 years old, but he's lost none of his will to fight. He's going to the ultimate lengths to battle gun crime by putting his own life on the line. I'm just glad I met Stephen now, and not in his day. I'm on my way to meet one of the hardest military men that has ever had the pleasure to serve under Her Majesty. He goes by the name of Spud.
I'm not quite sure what to expect from him or what I'm doing out here. I've been in this car for 3 fucking hours and I don't know where I'm being taken or what the fuck he wants me to do when I get there.
I have reason to worry. Spud could be the toughest geezer I'll ever meet.
I don't have any problems. I don't do any cock stands about killing somebody. All right, let's be clear about that.
Look, I'm going to be straight with you now. I've had a bit of a late one. I feel a bit ropey. So, you know, I hope he just takes it nice and easy on me because I'm really not up to much.
Turning up with a hangover for a date with an elite soldier may turn out to be the stupidest thing I'll ever do.
Yeah? Yeah. All right. Here we go. Beautiful countryside. Lovely old manor house. Let's see what this geezer's got to say, eh?
Hi.
Hello,
Danny.
mate.
How you doing, mate?
Spud? No?
Yes, mate, Spud.
Danny.
How you doing, mate? Pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you,
Yeah.
mate. Pleasure
How
to
you doing,
meet
all right?
you.
You
Good
good?
as gold, mate, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Come on, move it! Go!
Spud's agreed to give me some specialist military training here at this top secret facility. But to be honest, I was really worried about what that might involve. At the moment, it's all on a need-to-know basis, and if the way we met is anything to go by, I'm going to be the last to know anything.
weapon store, yeah?
That's some proper weapons here, isn't it?
Yeah. They're from all over the world.
Got the big old guns here. What's this one over here?
This is the 7.62 SLR. She is beautiful. And this is one we went down the Falklands with.
Yeah.
And this was, I suppose, one of the main reasons why we won the battle down there, along with this 7.62 GPMG, which the British Army still use today.
It's a monster, that.
General purpose machine gun, like I said, 7.62. It is a beauty.
Yeah.
You feel how heavy that is?
God, get hold of that, look.
Yeah.
Running along with that.
Plus, if you had a length of 200 with the ammunition strapped to it as well.
God, that's proper heavy, that is.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
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 Yeah, this is the first weapon I killed a man with.
When you first killed a man, that was the gun you
This is the
used,
one,
yeah?
Yeah.
As that, this it's a mad question to ask you, but I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, how did that feel when you first killed someone?
At the time, because I was like 20, 21, it's a cliched expression, but it's true. It's what you're trained to do. I don't have nightmares. I've killed a few people, men. I think any women. No. Certainly not children.
Let's say you can really prepare yourself, do all the training you want, can't you? But once you actually...
Yeah, I know it affects a lot of guys. Set something off in their brain, they go, oh, fuck me, this is not for me.
I suppose it goes two ways. Either you go like that, it's not for you, or you get a right adrenaline rush out of it, you know what I mean?
Do. I mean, you do. You actually get a right buzz out of it, and it's very hard to calm down. I mean, I've been doing this almost 30 years now.
I'd read in one of Spud's books gruesome tales about the brutality of war. One in particular that I couldn't get out of my mind was when he had to use his head as a lethal weapon.
You know, it's quite an heavy thing to talk about, you know what I mean? And this whole thing for me is an intense thing. I wanted you to try and tell me a little bit about when you had a moment in a trench with somebody, when you headbutted them, when you had your helmet on.
Yeah. Well, that's an intense, personal, one-to-one conflict with the enemy.
Yeah.
You don't think about it at the time, you just get on and do it. I haven't really reflected on that story too much.
No?
No, because I think if I did, it might send me a bit fucking mad.
OK.
You know?
He wants me to know what it feels like to be a soldier, so it's time to dress the part.
SAS styling, running about, who'd have thought this?
Now, this gear may look good, but it's proper heavy.
Get on that, look.
Yeah. This is level 4. This is stop high velocity. You've got your grenades in here, your flashbangs, your CS gas, spare ammunition. You might have a Mars bar in there for after the job.
Yeah,
you know.
little Mars bar, treat yourself up, you wind out loads of geezers. Yeah, love it, love it.
Yeah. You got him. Breathe in.
Yeah, fuck me, yeah.
How does that feel now?
Fucking horrible.
Is that? Good.
Well.
That's the way it should be.
Well, yeah.
And I want you to shout in there, gas, 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 but shout it.
Gas, gas, gas!
No, I mean it. Gas, gas, gas!
Gas, gas, gas!
And then the helmet.
Let's have the helmet there.
Okay? But
Okay.
how does it feel at the moment?
I'm all right for the minute, but I can see...
To tell the truth, I was starting to feel a bit claustrophobic.
Just of having this thing on, mate, it's been so much difficult.
Yeah.
You've got no sense enough.
You've got to double-check everything when you've got that kit on. Double-check everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Lovely jubbly. Let's go and have it then, Spud.
All right, then.
What are we going to do next?
Let's go and kill something.
Come on, let's have it.
Come on! Come on! Magazine! Magazine!
I'm not off to a good start. My gun has split in two and Spud's not happy.
Put it back on again. Put it on. Clean it off, get that shit out of it. Let's go! Come on, over the top. That's it, wait for Danny.
All this gear weighs nearly a stone. The vest is designed to stop knives, shrapnel, pistols, rifles and machine gun fire and anything else you can throw at it.
Come on, Danny, come on, that's it, mate. Over here. Now sprint. Through here, come on. In here, up the stairs. Come on, upstairs. Let's go.
Can't breathe.
You can't breathe. Don't take it off. Don't take your mask off. Keep it there.
That's fucking hard, mate.
Don't, Danny.
Hold on.
Don't take it off, all right?
I'm going to spew me fucking ring up. That's really tough, man. I'll tell you what. I've just done fucking...
That's nothing.
Running about for 30 seconds. And the whole weight of the gas mask. Tell you what, boys. It's made me feel proper sick.
Yeah.
The thought of having to go into battle after that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's superhuman people.
Yeah, and sometimes you gotta be stuck for 30 minutes.
I'm not quite sure I'd cut it as a soldier. Spud, on the other hand, excelled as a paratrooper and always had more brains and ambition than the average grunt. Gas-filled grenades are an occupational hazard on military operations. And because I'd ripped off my gas mask earlier, Spud wants to give me a little taste of what this CS gas can do to you.
Any good? This geezer is absolutely insane. He's sniffing CS gas, and he wants me to have an experience of it. I'm willing to get my hands dirty. Like I said before, you know, I want to be a man's man, so let's do it.
You let me know when you feel the effects of it.
Yeah.
Got him? You want any more, Danny?
Fuck that. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Do apologise to all my to my lady fans out there. If I broke the myth here, I apologise.
All right, guys, quick, listening. Briefing room now. Job on.
It's not quite on the same scale as the Iranian embassy, but one of my men has been captured by the enemy.
You know the score? We got a suspect terrorist holding a definite hostage. Not more than 50 metres from here. Mission is to save the life of the hostage. What's the mission, Danny?
Save the life of the hostage.
All right, mate.
This may only be a practice run, but my nerves are very real. Everything Spud taught me is racing through my mind.
Take your fucking gun, Danny.
No, I'll leave it there.
Danny, no.
I'm gonna.
Should we want to do this thing to Stop it!
Breathe all right?
Yeah.
My job as team leader is to throw a grenade and then secure the room. I was about to receive a brutal lesson in the reality of being a soldier.
What happened there?
He shot me.
Who said room clear?
Me. I shot him.
Was the room clear?
No, but I shot him.
Did you check him?
I didn't check him, no.
No.
I fucking put about 5 bullets in
Did
there.
you? Yeah, well, don't fucking matter. You've got to check him.
He's a strong
okay?
man.
Yeah, what you've got to do is double tap him in the head.
So we've just been bump, bump.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Fuck.
Always confirm he's dead. All right? I don't care if it's a woman or a kid with a gun. If they're after you to kill you, they kill you. You make sure they're dead before you scream room clear.
Okay.
All right?
Freaked me out, mate, I
Yeah.
tell you. It's intense, it's intense stuff, mate. The adrenaline pumping through my body like you wouldn't believe.
Oh,
well, you know the
yeah.
game. You know your game, didn't you?
Yeah.
I got shot though, I fucked it. I didn't put 2 in his fucking canister, did I? I should have popped 2 off in his nut, but I've called room clear. There's so much to think about, it's unbelievable. You know what it's been, man, these boys. It's mad when you run around talking to villains, gangsters, this, that and the other, about bravado. With these boys really aren't a real deal. I'm not undermining anyone I've interviewed in the past, but these boys are just solid, you know, just men's men. They will kill people, put 2 shots in your head, won't think twice about it. So, you know, you try and be, you know, you try and have a bit of bollocks around them. But I'll tell you what, fucking, my back's killing me. I've only had the fucking gear on for a few hours. I feel fucking terrible. I feel like sobbing me heart out, that's the honest truth. The adrenaline's pumping through my body.
A tradition of many soldiers is that they keep the pin to the first grenade they pull. So I was touched when Spud had a little surprise for me.
What's this here?
Your first flashbang grenade.
Oh, good boy.
I saved it for you.
Oh, good boy.
That is good luck. So if you ever do any war movies in the future, you've got to put that to your zipper.
Oh, good man,
and I bring
thank
you
you.
good luck, mate.
Appreciate that.
All right.
You mind how you go?
You take care as well.
See you later.
Cheers, mate.
I'm back in my own manor, London's East End. For much of its history, it was the centre of the capital's criminal underworld. It's my home turf, but will it be my toughest job yet? This is not just a birthplace of the chirpy Cockney and jellied ills. As well as being my manor, It was the home to a certain Victor Dark, one of the East End's most feared armed robbers. Had it been a life of glamour, or would I find that his crimes have haunted his entire life? He believed in hitting them hard and hitting them fast, and he's got a rap sheet as long as my arm to prove it. From 1974 to 1988, he carried out hundreds of raids on security vans, banks, post offices, and even a packed nightclub. He wasn't the kind to plan big jobs like the Great Train Robbery, and he never scooped as much as the legendary Brinks Mat job. He was all about the smash and grab, organised chaos more than organised crime. But it led him to spend 21 years in the slammer.
We just pull up here with a car, say 4 of us will get out, no, 3 of us will get out, it'd be a geezer driver.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, we just walk straight across there, sledgehammer, the guns, walk straight into there when it's the most busiest time. Take down the screens, get behind the screens. We used to have big bags at the time, Dan, like we used to come across, they show big, they're like post office bags, great big bags. And when we got behind the tills, my mate would be the littlest one. He'd either get the door open and just chucking all the money in the bags.
Straight in, yeah.
Yeah, that's how we used to do it. So we didn't really give a shit about anyone.
Yeah.
We was in there for 5 minutes, just clearing out all the money. Then we'd just come straight out of here, get back in the cars and drive off.
In and out 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's it, that was it. If it was big crowds, we'd use a double-barrel shotgun, which is like sort of snoring off, which is like looks the part. Or if it was like quick robberies like security vans, it'd be handguns. With shotguns, they was more frightening, really. So the bigger the crowds, like a big sorting office, it would be like a sawing-off shotgun. To get through the screens, we'd use hammers, big sledgehammers. Obviously, the guns I fired off was over people's heads, you know, so it wasn't at the people. I'd done martial arts for a long time. It's like when they kick, go, ah! You go, ugh! It's just like bang, you go, ugh! So it's just to make them jump, really. Not like obviously, once you fire a gun into someone, once again, you're going to kill them, aren't you?
Sometimes it only takes one night, one misjudgment, and you're facing a 15-year sentence.
The news from ITN. In the early hours of this morning, he and his accomplice, both armed with handguns, raided a nightclub in Ilford and shot the owner, who's now in hospital after having surgery.
I got shot in the hand, I got shot in the groin, and I got shot through the arm.
The Penthouse nightclub, Ilford, September 1988. It's 3 a.m. Vic's brought an accomplice with him to help on the job.
I was bored. That's how it all starts. I'm bored. You know what I mean? I'm a bit trigger happy, a bit bored, taking on. It didn't really matter what I'd done. I could do security vans, banks, sorting offices. Didn't really matter to me. Up and down, it could be anything. Anything where there was money, it'd be there. I'll go and do it. That's what it was about.
He's bored, and there's 30 grand in this club. Vic and his accomplice get let in the back door by someone on the inside. They hide in a back room, waiting for a signal to move.
You sort of stand there, all getting ready, got the stuff on. So put the mask on, you're just waiting. All of a sudden, then it happens, doesn't it? You go, you here. That means give him 10 minutes to get out of the gaff, then I'm coming out.
He gives his accomplice what he thinks is a simple job.
All he's got to do is get the money and rip the phones out. That's all he's got to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, it goes, bang. What I've got to do now, the first thing I'll do, I've got to get everyone under control, meaning I've got to wrap them all, or get them all together, wrap them up, have the money, slip off. That's what was supposed to happen. Nice and easy. Well, you know, what goes on next is unbelievable.
But his accomplice doesn't get the phones off, and the old bill are called. They surround the place. There's over 100 punters still in the club. Vic's got them lying on the floor, but the place is panicked.
Everyone's running everywhere. Can you imagine now? You've got 120 people running fucking everywhere, right? So I've got them all down in here.
It's at this point in the story where we see Vic turn. He takes the owner of the club and makes him kneel in the centre of the dance floor holding a gun to his head.
The paramount thought that I had is just how helpless I was. If they want to kill you, they want to kill you. I grabbed what might or might not have been the gun, and of course it was a gun, and it went off actually in my hand. I was holding the barrel, and when it came down, I got shot in the stomach as well. You don't feel anything when you get shot.
In the scuffle, the bullet passes through the club owner into the shoulder of Vic's accomplice.
My mate gets shot, the bullet goes through his arm, through here, and out of his back, right? He's like blood spurting everywhere. It's like an heartbeat. It's going...
There were 2 injured men, but Vic was only concerned about his accomplice, not the club manager.
I lost a lot of blood and apparently caused a blood shortage in Essex and very nearly died.
David's condition was critical. I can't imagine what it must be like to be shot 3 times. Vic wasn't interested though. He still had a long night ahead.
I've got 2 options. Take my clothes off, put my natural clothes back on, walk out, no I'll get away. Or do I have to carry this, my mate, and get him away?
So Vic takes his accomplice and carries him out, leaving behind 100 stunned clubbers, the wounded owner, and all the cash. It's been a total disaster, but it's not over yet.
As I'm getting here, Dan, right, I'm carrying my mate now, got him like this, like that. So I've got this thing like that. As I'm carrying like that, as I go like that, a police car goes bang. Just pulls in front of me. I haven't got to the car. I can't get to the car. Police car there, police car there. I told the copper, I said, get out of the car. I didn't want the copper, I wanted the car. To put my mate in the car, I'd been critically injured, like, you know. So I just got my mate in the car. Then I looked, so I thought, oh, fuck it. I got the copper, he got back, we've got to put the copper back in the car. Then we're off.
Vic's invited me to a barbecue. Now, he's told me these are the real Essex boys, yeah? So, hanging out with hooligans is one thing, but these guys are serious. I don't want to end up in a country lane, you know what I mean? See what these boys have got to say.
Unlike Vic, most of this lot haven't been inside.
Pleasure to meet you, old son. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. I'm a friend of Vic's, mate.
How you doing?
How you doing, son, yeah?
Pleasure to meet you. Good as gold. Thank you. Thank you.
I am as well, mate.
Good man. Good to meet you, mate. Pleasure. All right, mate? How are you? You all right?
This is Gavin. He was inside for manslaughter at Maidstone Prison.
Yeah, no, good as gold, mate.
Do you want a beer?
Good. I've got a beer there, sunshine. Thank you very much. No, good as gold. I know it's a bit mad walking in with my camera on me.
No, don't be silly. We're bothered about all that. We work with cameras on fucking 24-hour day.
Yeah, I'm telling you about that.
Been one of my best mates. Been one of my mates like since we was kids. And one of the most staunchest, nicest fellas in the world you're ever going to meet. I actually met him in Maidstone Prison when he was serving 7 years for manslaughter.
Okay.
And like I say, and then we come out and we become good friends, and ever since he's been one of my best mates in the world.
And he's always been there for me.
Yeah.
And he's been a father figure, but he's always been an older brother, best friend. He always has been, and he's never wanted nothing off me.
No.
Always give me. True.
Yeah, it's good. I love him, mate.
I love you as well.
Have
we ever took? I can't buy him a drink.
It's like being in an episode of The Sopranos. They all seem to love Vic, but then they've never been at the wrong end of him or his gun.
Well, he's just one in a million, mate. Yeah.
This is Glenn. He runs his own steel supply business.
Funny, really, since been seen out with him, everyone pays me on time. It's quite handy, really, yeah. All of a sudden, all these knockers are paying me on time. Great. So I just make a phone call and the checks are in the post. But no, it's good, really, because when I first met Vic, the business was probably doing, I don't know, 7-8 million a year turnover. It's up to about 20 million now. And you don't do that sort of turnout without people like his name behind you.
Yeah.
So although I ain't got no involvement in the business, where we've grown close, if anyone ever tries to like knock me, he's just mention his name is enough. He don't even have to get on the phone.
So while they all love him, there ain't no doubt about his stature. Time for me to make me exit.
So, babe.
So Vic had no choice. It was his poverty that had led him to a life of crime. So his brother must be a criminal as well then. But it turns out nothing could be further from the truth. Vic's younger brother Tony is a multi-millionaire. He had the same upbringing, but made different choices, making his fortune out of packaging, not robbery.
You was chasing money at an early age, I think. And I think that was your route, you know, you was working all weekends, weren't you, on the railways, grafting your nuts off, earning 50, 60 quid a weekend, and every weekend you just doing the same thing. I think enough was enough, and you said, this is it, I want to earn easy money.
I'm glad, really, that my brother took the route he did, because, like I say, it's made the family proud.
But we have made us, as I said...
We all took different routes, and he has made us, he's a brilliant businessman, and he's put the family on the map, really.
What I wanted to know was why Vic hadn't made the same decisions as his younger brother.
Why do you think you took a different path to your brother, then?
Some brothers, you can't say all brothers are the same. No. They're totally different. You've got two different brothers, and he, like you said, he's always been good. He's been not one of them natural people who's like, I cheat him at cards and still win. He's just one of them people. Oh, whatever I did, whatever he's done, he's turned to gold.
When you look back over the robberies you've done, I mean, how do you feel? You know, how do you feel about that? I mean,
I feel a bit guilty for all the people I've caused mayhem to, really. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel I'd like to apologise while I'm on the programme, sort of all the upset I caused a lot of people, but I've done my time, and I'm not proud of it.
I'd met a man who'd run around London with a shotgun and a sledgehammer, stacking his winnings in his wardrobe and living it up. But a man who'd lost 21 years shut up in jail, who was still haunted by the shadows of his past and felt people were still out to get him. I'd found a man whose crimes hadn't paid.
I dreamed of being a family man over the last 21 years locked up, so I got what I want, and believe it or not, that's what keeps me on the straight and narrow, my family. I've got too much to lose now. The game's over. I've retired.
At one time, Sam McCroy was Britain's most wanted man.
I'm a good friend, I'm a bad fucking enemy.
This notorious ex-terrorist from Northern Ireland now lives in exile.
I want to find out what happens to a terrorist when they've lost the cause they're fighting for.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but it had to be done. I was dedicated to it.
They say one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. I'm going to find out for myself.
This is my local town. It's a fucking brilliant wee town.
Oh, you like this town, yeah?
Oh, brilliant, mate. People are really, really nice folk. And we're just heading up to my wee flat. I've been in it 7 years. I've only had one bit of hassle. So there's two guys trying to kill me, trying to shoot me dead outside my flat one night.
OK. That's all you fucking need, don't it?
It's a Mark 5. I'll stop an AK-47.
A Mark 5, yeah?
Yeah.
So that stop a bullet?
Yeah. Fucking hope so, it'll work.
I was going to say, don't really want to find
just
out,
put
really,
it up over your head, yeah. There you go.
One of them ones, yeah? So you just whack that underneath your top, yeah?
Yeah, that's all.
God, I won't feel very confident in that if someone's going to take a shot on me.
That's it.
It's still going to prop her out, though, isn't it? You're going to go over, aren't you?
Well, if really made fucking clever, they'll shoot you in the head.
Yeah, mate. A mad thing to have in your house, though, isn't it?
That's just a way of life.
Yeah, of course.
It's just like there. I haven't more. I only more when I went to Belfast. My dad was in hospital. I come up on this Shagger Road, and my mates went out here, put that on because there was a largest feed on, and I put it on, put my jacket up over it, and that was it. And then they just said, "Take it back with you," and it's fucking lying there. It's not illegal.
Yeah, of course.
It's fucking illegal about it.
Yeah, of course.
But Sam lived a double life. Not only did he have to fight to protect his country, he had to fight to hide his sexuality. Being gay at the time in Belfast wasn't accepted, and being a terrorist made it even worse.
So you're openly gay, yeah?
You are.
Yeah. And what was that like in the UDA? I mean,
well, that was like a double life, because I found it very hard. Because see over there, because of the political situation, the sectarian situation, gays they weren't needed. It was like, here's another problem. You know what I mean? There's enough fucking political problems. Who are these people? I think some of my close friends knew. You know what I mean? But it was very hard to keep inside yourself.
It must have been really tough.
You know what I mean? It was dead secretive, and plus I had to watch where I was going.
Of course.
Because of who I was and where I was attached to. But obviously because your tattoos and all. You know what I mean?
The danger is real, but Sam wants to show me what he fought and nearly died for. To understand his new life today in exile, I've got to go to Belfast to see it with my own eyes. As Sam gets closer to Paul, he's more worried about being stopped by the police. Even though he's doing nothing wrong, he could still be detained for hours under the Prevention of Terrorism Act. And just when he thinks he's made it on board safely, disaster strikes.
Whoa! Don't film it, don't. I'll take it off you, take the camera off you.
Sam's been recognised by a policeman and stopped.
Have you any identification with you at all? Yeah. Just handy. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Thank you very much. Thought I recognised the jug, that was all. It's been a while, Sammy.
It has, it's been a while.
Thought I recognised the face.
I know, I noticed you selling there,
I just wanted to satisfy my curiosity.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Thanks a lot.
How long are you over filming?
Just a day. Just a day. Coming back tomorrow.
With any hassle?
Nah. Just going to do my documentary and that's it. back home.
No problem. Right, we'll let you get on, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot, sir. See ya.
Thank you.
You noticed my face, and I'm wearing sunglasses. You look at that photo, that was me 10 years ago. Look at me now. A father, shaved head now, I have a tattoo on my face there. Well, no tattoos, but he still need me. So, strange, isn't it?
I'm hearing firsthand that the potential death threat is not exaggerated.
So do you think that the likes of Skelly would be welcome back here?
No.
Never?
Never. Not all of what's happened, you know, definitely not. Them boys will just have to stay away, and anyone who left Belfast to go with Johnny Adair and all, they've made a decision and they'll not be welcome back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was a young lad who went along with him and he was told he was safe to come back, and he came back and they killed him. So that's a message to the rest of them.
Yes.
You know what'll happen.
Fucking hell. I know he's a bit paranoid about coming back here, obviously, for obvious reasons. Now, whether I'll be a target because I'm with him, I don't know. I don't know.
To keep the two religious communities separated and prevent sectarian murders, huge concrete walls were built, known as peace lines. Some are 40 feet high and over 3 miles long.
Really understand how much hatred there is when you have to build a wall to separate human beings at the end of the day. You know, it's pretty drastic measures. And it's only when you see it and how high it is when it really hits home, you know? Sad state of affairs.
Sam decides it's safe to visit his old stomping ground. This estate was the power base for C Company, the most feared paramilitary unit the Troubles had ever witnessed.
Different memories coming here. I've actually don't even give it much thought anymore. But this was my old stomping ground, this place here. This was the heart and the base of 2nd Battalion C Company. But sadly it is no more. Used to be our office, now a house, but it used to be our office. This is where everything took place. Organised street demonstrations, military operations. This was it all here.
Before returning to Scotland, Sam has one last thing to do. He wants to pay tribute to his fallen comrades and friends who were killed during the Troubles.
There's an awful lot of loyalist paramilitaries buried here. This is like their graveyard.
Almost 4,000 people lost their lives in Northern Ireland during 25 years of political violence.
I always find it quite, it's quite a moment coming to a cemetery anyway, you know, so it's always a bit, whole mood changes, it all gets a bit tense, but, I mean, he's a tough guy, you know, but you can't help but think, you know, get a sense that he's, you know, it must be a moment for him to come over here, you know, he's sort of, I've left him to it, really. He's just wandering about looking for Top Gun's grave now. It's obviously a very emotional thing for him, you know. I don't want to question him too much, you know. Just let him get on with it.
It's been a sobering journey for me. I understand now that Sam was a foot soldier in a political struggle that had spiralled out of control. Death was commonplace, and lots of innocent people were caught up in the violence. When peace eventually broke out in Northern Ireland, Sam couldn't share in it and was forced into permanent exile in Scotland, where the next chapter of his life awaited as an openly gay man. Today in Scotland, Sam is determined to make the most of his freedom and live life to the full.
Sit down, you fucking behave. Yo! Got it, Link! Sit down, Link! Come here, you slippery fuck. Foxy is for all amateurs. 2? Don't want blood in my hands. It's a good lad, and 21 in my cut. So I'm well pleased.
After years of having to hide the fact he's gay, he's openly embracing his sexuality and wants the world to see a new side to him.
Joe! How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Joe.
Enjoying to see you.
Right, how are you?
How's things?
All right, fantastic. The only person I know that's gay in Ayrshire is me and him, as far as I know.
We go out for a drink and all, like, we're good buddies now. Just goes for your reputation. We have to look good. He's an icon, I'm an icon.
I'm a hate figure.
I'm a gay icon, so I am.
There are no winners and losers in Northern Ireland's history. In the battle for hearts and minds, thousands of people lost their lives. Some will never forgive Sam for his actions, nor will they forget. But he wants the world to see he's a changed man. His past will never go away, but Sam has an opportunity to make amends for the future. The final chapter in Sam McCrory's life has not yet been written. I'm in the Midlands on my way to meet a vicious cage fighter. His name is Barrington Patterson, also known as Baz.
Weighing in at 110 kilograms. He is from Coventry. Let's hear it for Barrington Patterson!
Cage fighting is a no-holds-barred mix of martial arts. It's brutal, bloody, and a very big business, with more than 300 million fans around the globe. Black belts and fancy moves are no match for the sheer ferocity of this new breed of fighters. Barrington has fought from Russia to Rio and from Hawaii to Holland. But for him, it's not about the belts, the money, or the fame. It's all about the fight. But the time has now come to give it all up, and Barrington is in training for the biggest fight of his career, his last. But he's got a hunger for winning, so he'll treat it as if it's his first. Barrington has brought me to one of the gyms he trains at to show me his moves.
Well, me and Baz are going to have a right tear up now. No, it's been on the cards for a couple of years. You know, I'm popping my pants, to be honest with you. Nice.
Today's lesson is in grappling, aka ground and pound. It's where you get your opponent to the ground and pound the life out of them.
You get on your fours like this.
So you're going to show me a bit of grappling?
Yeah.
So I go like that.
So you're grappling like.
Yeah.
So that, yeah. You just working each other like this.
What you're trying to do is get him in the mad around the neck, innit?
I'm trying to get the
that size of it.
You there?
Fucking right on the calf, that is. Fuck, man.
Cool.
Oh.
Look at this centre there.
So
the guy's on him, like.
Yeah, I've seen this
stuff. Yeah. The guy's flat, so he can't move then. Then you can bash him. And you come on there, right underneath his nose there.
Yeah.
Tapping that.
Fucking hell. So basically, that's. You want to,
basically,
I would say there, you ain't really got to work on it too much, really.
No, there is a lot to work on.
Yeah.
Especially, like, if you're standing up.
Yeah.
Well, you get everything that starts from standing up on there. Yeah. So you can either go there.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Then do I up on there.
Today, he'll be going up against Mark Goddard. Mark is a true professional fighter, about to break into the UFC circuit. They're the same weight, but Mark is 10 years younger, so no doubt he'll give Barrington a good workout.
I'm just excited, really. There's a nice little bit of tension in the air, and I just want to see it go. You know? And if they both keep getting leery, I'll jump in the cage and I'll knock the pair of them out.
His girlfriend Lucy has come along to watch with her daughter Mia and Barrington's son, Kai. They're not fighting at full power because neither of them want to get hurt, but it's still an essential part of training for Barrington in the lead-up to his big fight. Grappling is one of Mark's specialities, so he's the perfect sparring partner for Barrington.
Go on, Abbas.
Yeah, it's quite a bit more lively than what I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you. You know, he's got his retirement fight coming up, so he couldn't, you know, he didn't want to go full throttle, but you just get a sense. Just imagine that man running towards you, you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's powerful stuff, you know.
As his last fight approaches, Barrington has decided that he wants to give something back by using his skills to train up-and-coming fighters.
I do a lot of teaching. I help a lot in my kickboxing club, and I have a lot of one-to-one personal lessons myself. What I do, you know, like winning, and it's nice going to like our tournaments, whatever, crowd tournaments, and helping the kids out, and it makes me feel a lot better. I feel nice and proud, knowing that I've helped that person to get that trophy to show his mum and dad, and it's nice to get another Barrington, another up-and-coming guy, doing the things that I used to do.
Barrington's come to see one of the fighters he's training, 20-year-old Danny Hudson. It's his first professional bout, and he's sounding confident.
Very glad Barrington could be here to watch it tonight. I'm planning to go out there and knock the guy out, you know, do what Barrington's taught me quite well.
It's been a high standard of fighting so far. And now, it's Danny's turn to take to the cage.
This is Danny in the cage. Let's hear it for Danny Hudson.
Get that jab going, Danny. Jab, Danny, jab, Danny. Jab. Jab, Danny.
It soon becomes clear that Danny's outclassed.
Danny! Come on, Danny!
Barrington don't look too impressed.
Where's Danny? Just over there.
Oh, I've got to give him a piece of my fucking mind.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you what. That was fucking pathetic. Pathetic. You threw a high kick to the fucking guy with so much force, the guy was nowhere near you. You spun yourself round. What happened to your fucking groundwork? That went out the fucking window.
Got to work on stand-up.
Your stand-up's gone out, gone out right out the fucking window, Daddy. Right out the fucking window, man. That was shit. That's the worst I've ever fucking seen you, mate. As soon as the guy put you under pressure, you crumbled.
Most stereotypical hard men are all talk and no action. But this bloke definitely follows through with his threats. He won't let anything stand in the way of getting what he wants.
Rotterdam's Ahoy Arena is in for a battle. It's the location for this heavyweight tear-up. His opponent, legendary Dutch fighter Bob Schreiber, has come out of a 3.5-year retirement to take on Baz and is determined to make sure it's worth it.
I do everything to win. Everything. I never quit.
Both men prefer to end their fights with a knockout, so it's going to be brutal.
I've wanted this fight from day one, but at least I finally got what I wanted now, and that's it. Yeah. All I want to do now is just go on with that belt, and that's it, man.
And there's
my life story's completed.
The contest will be fought over 2 5-minute rounds, with the winner crowned King of the Ring. With the tension mounting, Baz enters the arena for his final battle. waiting's over and the fight's on. 6 months of training is about to be put to the test. It's not long before Baz's violent streak kicks into play. This is looking like a mismatch. But Bob's saved by the bell.
Come on, listen, you can take him. You could have won it in that round, but don't worry. He's tired, Barrington. Barrington, he's tired.
Baz starts the second round as he ended the first, on top. But Bob fights back, landing some heavy blows. It looks like Baz may have blown his chance. This is a proper tear-up. It's every man for himself, and it's turning into a street fight, just how Baz likes it. Battered, bruised and bleeding, they both make it to the final bell. It's going to come down to a points decision, and it's on Bob's home turf. I'm not sure Baz has done enough. The relief's too much for him. All his hard work's been worth it. The story seems complete for Barrington. He's gone out a winner, and for now, at least, he seems satisfied with his lot.
That's it for me, man. End of.
I've spent time with some dodgy geezers so far, but now I'm waiting to meet a man who's risked his life to keep villains like them banged up.
In his 10 years as an undercover policeman, this bloke was responsible for taking down dozens of villains and helped stop millions of pounds worth of drugs hitting the streets of London.
Undercover work is exciting, it's scary, it's intoxicating.
He was one of Scotland Yard's finest, and he went deeper undercover than any other detective before him.
He's in danger. Move him, move his family, move them quickly.
With each job he took and each role he played, he risked not only his life, but his sanity.
The price that you pay for a bad performance could be your life.
But how long can you spend living a double life before it takes control of you? Throughout his undercover career, he took on many different disguises to help him get into character.
I always had quite a wide and varied wardrobe just to suit whatever role I was playing. I've kind of kept this leather jacket for sentimental reasons. I've had this many, many years, and I wore that on many a drugs buy or when I was pretending to be a contract killer.
His physical appearance also kept changing to suit each role he took on.
You have to maintain being that person. And if you're being particularly unpleasant, and I'm sorry about this, pal, but I've got to stick you up against the wall and give you a rub down now, because you could be undercover old Bill, you might be a Mickey Mouse kind of donut with a 9mm on you. You know, I've got to do that, pal. Get up against the wall, right? You'd have to do that. You know, and I wouldn't treat people in normal life like that, but, you know, I'm out there buying millions of pounds worth of drugs, you know what I mean? I'm not playing a game, you know, when your life depends on it, other people's lives might depend on your performance, then you have to be thoroughly, utterly, totally convincing.
Peter graduated top of his class at Hendon College and was posted to Peckham Police Station.
South East London, social deprivation, a lot of racism going on. There was a large Afro-Caribbean community in Peckham. And, you know, the cops, the people I was working with, were basically just rampant racists.
I wanted to find out a bit more about Peter's early life as a copper. So I've come to a place that was instrumental in shaping his career, the streets of Brixton. In April 1981, Brixton was an area that had deep social and economic problems, high unemployment, high crime and poor housing.
The police focused disproportionately on young black men. And in Brixton, the police launched Operation Swamp. And basically what they did was got every policeman they could muster onto the streets of Brixton with the instructions to stop and search young black men. Now this caused a huge amount of resentment because young black guys couldn't walk the streets without being stopped, searched, harassed, and quite often fitted up for crimes that they hadn't committed.
And today, nearly 30 years on, Peter wants to set the record straight. Rioter Alex Wheatle went on the straight and narrow after the riots and is now a successful author. His award-winning novel, East of Acre Lane, was inspired by the Brixton riots.
I remember throwing all kinds of missiles along with whoever was around me at the time, and you guys having to go into people's front porches and gardens to try and get dustbin lids to protect yourselves. I saw the police running away, the helmets falling off and all that kind of thing.
At times, during that weekend, I was scared, very scared. Our training was wholly inadequate, the equipment was wholly inadequate. You know, we had flimsy helmets, you know, that didn't offer a lot of protection, and I was scared. How were you feeling?
Exhilarated.
Right.
Exhilarated to actually see the police retreat. I mean, we've never seen that.
Right.
It's taking a step backwards. I mean, we cheered every step that you retreated. It was incredible to see that.
Life as a detective for Blex wasn't all about getting stabbed and having shotguns pulled on him. He also spent time interviewing victims, setting up wiretaps, and my personal favourite, surveillance.
Tell me a little bit about surveillance, Pete. Obviously, that was a very important part of your job, you know, so, I mean, just tell me a little bit about how that would work.
Yeah, well, in the police, surveillance was very important because surveillance teams would watch me when I was working undercover. They'd be there to cover my back.
And how do you manage to sort of blend into any environment?
It's about everything you do, how you speak, you know, how you act. And you've got to be able to you've got to be very flexible, you've got to be adaptable, you've got to be resourceful, you know, you've got to think on your feet.
Blex was very skilled at making himself invisible, a powerful weapon in this game. To give me an idea of how surveillance works, we're going to follow a member of our crew.
Here we go, there's a sub, there she is. She's into the vehicle. And the vehicle's off, down Rowton Road. So all units hold back, and she's done a right. I have eyeball. Hold back all units.
Is this the right distance, is it? I mean, obviously, it's quite close, I would have thought.
Well, yeah, unfortunately here, I'm a little bit exposed because I haven't got any other traffic for cover.
How many sort of motors would you have then? I mean, what, 3 motors? Would that be enough to swap over, you know, would that be enough to not give the game away, would it?
We used to have teams of anything up to 17 of us.
Yep. Okay. So, 17, God.
Yeah, so you know.
That's a proper bit of surveillance out, isn't it?
I think I'm starting to get an idea of this business now. Peter wants to give me a unique insight into what it's like to be an undercover copper. You know, like the pressure of a real deal going down. So I'm going to be playing the role what he would usually play. So he's going to be the dealer, I'm going to be the undercover copper. I've got to get a bit of gear from him, basically. This is my game. I'm quite confident with myself. I should be able to pull this off. Let's crack on. I'm going to change my clobber, go in as a hoodie, I think. Bit of subtext. What's my subtext? What's my motivation? I've got a bit of nervous energy about me. Don't know whether it's because for the first time on this fucking show I'm doing a bit of acting, which is me bread and butter. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to come unstuck. But, you know, he's been a bit quiet around me, Pete. I've spent a bit of time with him, but all of a sudden he don't want to talk to me. I think he's getting a bit method around me. But let's have a method up. We'll go method against method. I'm up for all that, mate. Let's bring it on. It's not like Blex went to drama school or anything. Everything he knows he learned from the streets. As part of his training on Scotland Yard's elite undercover unit, Blex would often have to take part in role plays designed to push officers to their limits.
You know, it'd be interesting to see how Danny reacts to the little bits of different pressure that I put him under.
So here's the deal. I'll be playing the role of an undercover cop who wants to buy some gear. Blex will be playing a drug dealer who might be able to sort me out. We've been put in touch by a mutual acquaintance called Mick. Hey?
Yeah.
Stuck in traffic?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. It was,
No, you're all right, it's sweet. It's sweet as.
Yeah.
No problem.
How you doing?
Yeah, good as gold, yeah.
Lovely. How long you known Mick?
Oh, fuck, mate. I've known Mick for fucking ages, to be honest with you. A long time.
Days, weeks, months, years?
Years, yeah. You know, I don't know fucking bollocks, I don't know aggravation. I just want to fucking get it done. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone's happy. Sweet as we go our separate ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not quite as easy as that, is it? I've got to learn to trust you. You could be anybody. You know, I knew Mick from years ago when I was at primary school.
Fair enough.
I didn't see him
No,
for a few
listen,
years.
listen.
All of a sudden, he lumps up and tells me there's some geezer, cake up with money, wants to do a bit of graft with me. I don't know you from fucking Adam.
Fire away. Ask me whatever the fuck you want, mate. Whatever the fuck you want.
Take your clothes off.
Get my arsehole out, yeah?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I fucking take my clothes off, mate?
Because you
fucking
could be
wind
old
me up.
Bill and you could be wearing a wire.
Fucking hell. You want me to fucking strip off, do you? Well, I'll tell you what, bollocks, I ain't fucking stripping off for you, mate. Not in a million fucking years. You must think I'm some sort of...
Really? I think you're some sort of undercover old Bill. That's what I think.
Yeah?
Because if you won't take your kit off when there's nobody else here, so that I at least can have the peace of mind that you're not wearing a wire and you're not dirty, filthy, stinking undercover old Bill who have been put into me before, then I'm out the door.
Listen, this is the bollocks I don't want. I don't want all this fucking bollocks. I understand what you're saying, but for fuck's sake, you want me to stand there, start bollock fucking naked?
It's a simple thing.
Okay, right, okay.
Small thing.
Small thing to you, yeah? Fucking big thing to me, but I'll tell you fucking something now, right? I fucking will strip off, all right? I'll get me fucking bollocks out. Is that what you want to fucking see? Yeah? Is that what you fucking want? I'll fucking do it, yeah, boom. What do you want? Fuck me, yeah, look, boom. What more do you want from me, mate? For fuck's sake, you know what I mean? Fuck me. I don't need this bollocks, to be honest with you.
And your top, please.
And me top, yeah? Yeah, look.
Thank you. Turn round. Right.
Sweet now, yeah?
Yeah.
See me bollocks, everything's in order.
I have got some brown. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the capability to handle what I've got?
Of course I have, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here, mate.
What sort of size parcel are you looking at?
Well, I'll be looking at least a few key.
Well, how about if we start with a half?
Ideally, I want a bit more than that, but I understand where you're coming from. I understand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Walk before we run.
I think we ought to have another meet, okay? And perhaps get off on a better footing than what we did.
Yeah. Pete?
Yeah.
Sweet as.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Look after yourself.
You want to go, sunshine?
Yeah. And
see you
you.
later. I'll be in touch, all right?
See you later.
Ta-da.
Bye.
He's definitely gone up in my estimations about what he does, you know what I mean? I do understand that his job, man, is fucking, that's another level, mate. Peter and I have got a lot more in common than I thought. I guess in a way, being an undercover cop is a bit like being an actor. If I mess me line up, I'll get another crack at it. He messes his line up, he gets shot in the fucking head. And that finds a light about me, you know? The threat on Peter's life is still very real, and as our time together draws to an end, I find out why he wanted to make this film.
You know, I was responsible for putting a lot of people away for a lot of time, but, you know, my betrayal of anybody was professional. And if anybody wanted to put themselves to the trouble of coming after me now, you know, they'd be very foolish, because all they'd be doing is getting themselves another big prison sentence wrapped around them, you know. And I decided that it was more important to tell my story than to worry about fear of retribution.
It's been a long, difficult path to recovery for Peter, and now, above all else, he dedicates his time to his family.
I've searched for a long time to find out exactly who I really want to be, or who I am, and now I know. I'm a husband, I'm a dad, and I'm a colleague.
The last role Peter will play is himself.
Welcome to the East End, London town, home to pearly kings and queens and the beautiful art of boxing. I'm here to meet one of the most brutal fighters to have been born within the sound of the Bow Bells. Oh, fuck me. He's an old-school brawler who gained notoriety for nutting Augley Harrison, the Olympic gold medal winner.
I don't care who you are, whether I eat you going over.
And he managed to fight off 3 geezers with an axe in his head. In his spare time, he was a renowned East End enforcer, sent to persuade people to pay up.
I bought to over like 250 grand in a plastic bag once, you know, in a black bin liner.
But his criminal career ultimately ruined his chances of becoming a boxing great, and his life spiralled out of control. I'm entering a world of ultra-violence to meet the notorious Dominic Negus.
So this is Dominic's gym. Looks like something out of Snatch, I'll be straight with you. And now I've heard he's one of the top boys. He's one of the guys, the top boys would ring if they wanted a bit of muscle. He's now a boxer, got a little gym. This is his manor. It's on my manor, actually. Let's go and have a pipe. So naughty dig. Good to meet you, son. Good to meet you. How are you? All right?
Fuck time.
Fuck, mate, that's a powerful dig you got there. What you got planned with me today, then, son?
Well, don't we have a little bit of a tour around. There's an old pub we used to hang about. I mean, obviously, I don't go out no more, you know what I mean? It's not so much for my health, but for other people's health, I don't. To be honest, I used to turn up on the old, when I used to have a booze. But yeah, this little pub we used to hang about. We'd go down there. Perhaps a few of the boys will be down now.
Okay.
I started doing a bit of door work when I was 19, and where I got bullied, I definitely become a bully in the end. I was knocking out people every other day. I'd have a stand up with anybody, you know. I wouldn't give a fuck if you're Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee, mate. If I punch you in the chin, you're going for a kip.
Yeah.
You know, you go Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
After years of being bullied, he was finally getting the respect he craved.
I loved the reputation. It was like the fact you go to nightclubs, never had to pay for nothing, all of a sudden everyone knew you, especially like you go to Marbella, all the boys would be out there, come on, go, don't really like you. They just think, well, keep him out, because if he gets on the booze, he'll turn and end up throwing us over the balcony. You know, but to be honest with you, Dan, I just so wanted, well, I suffered from being a kid, like the fat kid that got bullied. I so wanted the reputation, if you know what I mean. I was so striving to be a part of something that I did the most stupidest things just to get a rep. And to be honest, it took me, you know, I'm 38 now, it took me 30-odd years to get a reputation. It's going to take me another 40 years to lose it.
I wanted to find out what it took to become a gangland enforcer, so I agreed to meet some of his old crew down at his local.
Oh, here we go.
Hey,
get on this mob here. How are you?
This is Jim.
Good to meet you.
This is John. Danny.
Good to meet you, John. Oh, okay. That's a proper little mob, that one. Let's get in on. Boss, think we'll have a little game of pool or something. Yeah, I'll ask you a few questions. Yeah, we'll keep it nice and sweet. Oh, what's it, Nick? I'll whack the Nick in. I've
got the keys to that. All expenses paid.
All right, boys, so one was Dom. Was he an important part of the team then, or what?
He was the main player, really. He's like, you know,
we were like his soldiers, you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the main man. But but only the, people who just had to pay whatever they owed, do you know what I mean? They got rough, we got rough with it.
How much was, violence, part of the job?
Mainly we go around and just be civil with you and say you owe this debt, you got to pay it, and that was it. If you didn't pay it and you got salsa, you got a right hander. End of the matter, isn't it?
It's funny, your right hand is bloody hell. Must let my mum whack you.
I find it hard to believe, to be fair. Yeah. So tell me a little about the first debt you collected.
I do remember one of the jobs, one of the first ones, it got a bit messy, because I didn't really know how to play the part, if you know what I mean. It was, as far as I'm concerned, we knocked on the door, and all I did, as soon as you knocked on the door, I whacked the geezer. And then my mate straight away, but give me his due, he paid the money straight away. My mate was doing his nut, he was going, fucking hell, Dom's a bit strong.
So as soon as that door was open...
I just cracked him, boom, right hander, and that was it. And to be honest, hopefully you see earlier, I ain't got a bad right hand on me, you know what I mean, so...
No, I was going to say...
Dom and the crew kindly offered to show me what it was like to be on the wrong end of a debt collection. Being game, I offered myself up to play the role of the man who owed the cash. I was just hoping they wouldn't get carried away.
So, Dom and the boys, they're going to show me a bit how this debt collecting thing works. It's a bit of role play for a start, so it's just a bit of role play. Don't take it too seriously at home, all right? Now, I owe them 20 grand, we're saying. They're going to knock on my door, they're going to go through the motions.
We used to be so blinkered about things because that's what we did, you know what I mean? We were debt collectors, but also, we would say debt collectors, you know what we were? We were more negotiators, hard, iron fist negotiators.
I'm not sure this is how the Halifax would have dealt with it, all right? Sort these mugs out.
You Danny?
Yes, mate.
Yeah, mate, you all right? Mind if we come in?
Yeah, all right, no, come in, yeah, no problem, yeah.
Seen some horrible things I wouldn't even want to, I'm not going to talk about. And I used to get a kick out of it because I was bloody good at it, because I was so blinkered about things, I wouldn't give a toss, you know what I mean? People getting cut and things like that, and I wouldn't give a monkeys, you know what I mean? Because that's how it was, people getting their heads kicked in and, people getting knocked out, and it was just every day. It become every day, it's such an everyday occurrence, it was just the norm.
What's that? Hold up a minute, mate, hold up a minute. Hold up.
Joe sent us round.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not...
20 grand for the Merc.
The crew used to collect money on behalf of the crime bosses from people who couldn't go to the banks or the police.
All right, well...
Get ready and we're going
we come with you.
Whether it was for a car or a drug deal, as soon as the debt needed repaying, they were sent in.
Either give us the fucking money, or we can go the other route, you know what I mean?
Well, I've got it, but I've got to do a bit of running about to sort it out.
I was experiencing what it was like to feel the threat. And what I was hearing weren't pretty. I just wanted it to be over before I knocked them all spark out.
Sometimes how you do it, the thought of the violence is much more intimidating than actual violence. If I went bang and whacked you on the chin, it don't really hurt that much until you wake up. Then actually the thought of it, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's the mind game.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course I wasn't in any danger. But in the role play, they revealed a little of their techniques.
If you knock on the door, you know what motor they've got, because you've got a bit of info. So, sorry, mate, I'll just hit your motor outside. First thing he wants to do, get outside, see what you've done with his motor. As soon as he's outside, that's it.
For Dom and the crew, working as debt collectors meant that they were operating outside the law.
Who's allowed to hit anybody? Nobody. No. But it depends. But then listen, if you owe money for something dodgy, then how can you go to the old bill? No, you can't play both sides, can you? If it's, again, drugs were never my game, but I can't say I never collected money for. I've, done the odd thing, but at the end of the day, you just got to go and pick it up, and that's what it is. It's no man's land, ain't it?
But Dom's violent attitude started to piss a lot of people off, and they decided that he needed to be taken out. In April 2004, an incident in a cramped changing room in a 5-star gym in Harold Hill went on to change his life forever. Dom's returning for the first time since he was nearly killed to talk me through exactly what happened.
Oh, small in here, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it was a bit cramped that night, I've got to be honest with you.
After a heavy session on the pads, Dom returned to the changing room. What he didn't know was that 3 men armed with a baseball bat, a gun and an axe had entered the gym looking for him.
door kicked open, shouting, screaming, Dominic, ah! And I fucking turned around like that, and I'm basically standing where you are. There's a big lump there, and the geezer about my stamp, and a little fella. And the little fella's also pulled out his, pulled a gun out, it's gone like that, and the first time I went like that, I thought, what are you going to do with that?
But with his back turned, the geezer with the axe planted it in the middle of his head.
Next to me, I'm on the floor, and I thought, fuck me, he's like the old slipped on the soap trick, you know, I went on my arse, I thought, fuck. And then I didn't realise what had gone on, and I thought it was fucking raining, but it weren't raining, it was blood pissing out my head. And as I looked up, the geezer's got like an axe thing. So he's obviously done me in the canister with the axe.
Dom was down with blood pouring out of his head and an axe man hovering over him. But all he could think about was his reputation.
I think, fucking hell, you're supposed to be a bit naughty on your arse. As I went to get up, as I gone like, he's trying to do me again, and so it got stuck in my hand. I thought, shit, I'm in trouble here.
With the axe raining down on him, Dom began to fight back.
As he tried to do me again, I got hold of the axe, and the blade's there like that. I got hold of the big lump, and I'm like basically wrestling him against the wall, and like smashing his head against the wall. And the geezer started whacking me with a bat. I've taken the bat off of him. The funny thing was I couldn't hold the bat at first, and I didn't realise till afterwards all my hands were all fucked up.
Having taken care of the axe man and wrestled the bat away from the other attacker, Dom had turned the tide.
And then next minute they've all looked at me and we were fucking state. Next minute they've all basically bolted.
Having fought off 3 armed attackers, Dom was left with a fractured skull and over 60 stitches in his head, arm and hand. Dom wouldn't tell me who he thought the attackers were for fear of reprisals.
So, Dom, I mean, you think, right, you've been naughty in the past, you've upset a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But you can't obviously pinpoint it to a certain thing, but...
Well, listen, Dan, if I'm being honest with you, mate, I mean, you led that life, and if I'm being deadly honest, I deserved it, mate. I mean, the 3 fellas, I know you keep going, them 3 fellas I owe such a big debt to, because they just made me realise, A, what a fucking arsehole I've become, but B, that weren't a life for me.
So this was basically, it was this attack that made you start thinking about things and why you changed your life?
Near that day, I thought, nah, time to get out now. You know, I mean, I've just been very lucky. You know, it could have been a lot worse for me.
After the attack, he saw how his horrific injuries affected his wife, Nick.
The biggest life-changing thing for me, right, you know, that was a massive part, but seeing how scared Nick was. And do you know what? I take me off to the I own that girl so much more than she'll ever realise, and it does makes me want to cry now, because she never fucking moved, Dan, I promise you, mate. But to see how fine she was, and that's what I thought, this has got to stop. And then from that day, I thought, bang, that was it.
Dom had got out of the crime business for the right reasons, but I wondered if he hadn't been a gangland enforcer, whether his life would have turned out differently.
So, I mean, how far do you think you could have gone in boxing if you'd have stayed away from the other bit of work and you'd have just, you know, lived and breathed it every single day? As you know what the discipline is, I mean, how far do you feel you could have gone?
And I mean it. I mean, I really think I could have gone all the way in the pro ranks. I mean, I've only got myself to blame for that, but it's no good me looking back, because I've got a future to think of now.
So what does the future hold for you then, Dom?
You know, it's day at a time, really. You know, all I want to be able to do is, like, be able to earn a straight bit of money like I'm doing, have a mortgage and have an house and let the kids be proud of me.
I believe that he could have gone on to become a great in the boxing world if he hadn't have got involved so heavily as a gangland enforcer. I was pleased he'd seen the light and was now living straight for his family. Hopefully, in the future, he won't slip back into a criminal career that very nearly cost him his life.
He's been a football hooligan, a boxer
with over 100 knockouts to his name,
and had his own security company which ran the door of over 200 clubs in Edinburgh.
At just 17, he was Britain's youngest criminal mastermind, a teenage godfather who ran the streets of the Scottish capital, the original baby-faced assassin.
I was always a frontliner. I'm a born leader.
I'm meeting Bradley Welsh, a man who, before he was barely out of his teens, was feared in the ring, on the terraces and on the streets. And whose young life of crime and violence ultimately led him to jail. But whether rich or poor, one thing in Edinburgh did bring everyone together. Well, half of Edinburgh anyway. Easter Road is home to one of the city's 2 football clubs, Hibernian FC. Bradley wasn't a football fan. Boxing was his passion. But when he was taken to see Hibs play, he was shocked by what he saw happening to his city.
Now, every time that you came to Easter Road, yeah, Rangers and Celtic predominantly, because they were the big force in Scotland, would go to every city in Scotland and he would piss all over the streets.
Take over.
And he would take over, mate. As a young boy coming down here at 12 years old, I was fearless. I was a boxer, I'd had about 200 fights, mate. And then coming here, I used to see Hibs supporters hide their scarves. And I can remember going on the train road or somebody and saying, well, you better hide your scarf. And to me, that was like, what? You know, because this is my city, this is the castle that I live with. This is, you know, this is where we're from. I was never brought up to hide anything.
Determined to play his part in defending his city from the invading hordes, Bradley and his friends formed their own infamous group, the Blackleys Baby Crew.
I'm a born leader. That's what I've always done. I've never listened to other people. I've always took things, maybe partly because of my confidence. So I started to form my own wee mob, and how I done that was I collated them together, got membership cards, and started to organise them along a battalion line, yeah? And there was literally a couple hundred boys at that time. But by no means was I like just the main guy. That was the beauty about this Hibs thing. There was 50, 60 main guys. That's what our strength was. We made Easter Road a fortress.
But when it was all kicking off back in the 80s, one person he most certainly didn't want to know about what was going on was his mum. Incredibly, he managed to keep his hooligan life a secret from her and his stepdad. Like any teenager, he got into trouble with them, but they had no idea what he was really up to.
Any, you know, hint of trouble or even, you know, school reports, whatever, or just acting up, he was kept in. He was stopped for going to his training, you know, and the usual things that parents would
kept him in the pub till 5 o'clock on a Saturday.
Kept him when we were both working.
So he couldn't go to the football.
But when England came to Scotland for an international match, Bradley snuck out and went to the game without his mum knowing. And what happened made him front page news.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
There's a picture, and it's got England at the bottom, Scotland at the top, and it's got a no man's land, and I'm standing in no man's land with a big stick, and there's a policeman grabbing me like this.
Scotland v England was a major battle, and he was a boy in a man's world who could more than hold his own.
At the age of 45, I was a great fighter. I was 8.5 stone. You know, 15-stone man's going to beat me. You know what I mean? But I could punch and I could knock people out. So I was always going to football and chinning people.
There's a few times I've seen big guys be like, who are you? And before you'd even got their hands out of the pocket, they were on the deck, you know? And he was a young boy at the time, you know?
He may have been at the centre of an international hooligan incident, but he still had to be home for his tea.
I got on the train at half-time, got back to Edinburgh, clearly the game's just finishing, and I've walked into my mum and stepdad's pub as if, oh, I've just been up to them, thinking I beat them. That morning, Sunday, they worked in they owned a pub, so I'd be in the pub till late at night, 12 o'clock. Sunday Mail papers came round, and on the papers, what's on the front page? Me standing on the front page, like that, hooligans and stuff like that. I had to cut the paper, yeah, take the photos of it, and leave the papers in the pub, so my mum wouldn't know.
So Bradley saw this as an opportunity to capitalise on his position and notoriety. He went into business with a company called Westland Security, who provided the muscle on the doors of some of Edinburgh's biggest clubs. But Westland wanted more contracts, and Bradley's role was to go and get them.
Edinburgh was known for, you know, its casual thing, and I just saw a wee opportunity with that there, yeah? You know, all these bar and club owners that were sort of, you know, hiring security to try and keep these supposed troublemakers out. So I went out there and overnight, maybe got them 3/4 of the doors in Edinburgh.
Before long, the doors of most of Edinburgh's clubs were controlled by Bradley and Westland.
Because I was in the overdrive now. I was 17 years old, just turning 18, and I was going, I thought I was Don Corleone. I thought that this is it, I can do whatever I want. I was fearless, I was being predacious with people, overpowering people, and I was a kick, you know what I mean?
Bradley hadn't just been running the doors, he also had a vested interest in the success of certain venues. He was putting on his own nights at some of the clubs and coining it in. He wanted his nights to do well and competing nights to foul, and he was in a position to make it happen. But being such a prominent figure in the city, It wasn't long before the old Bill started to take an interest in Bradley's clubland activities. They suspected Bradley had been using firearms to back up his threats. In response, they mounted a massive police operation to take down the teenage godfather.
With the police trying to put together 6-month surveillance, and my house was bugged, they were bugging my telephone calls.
The police were closing in on Scotland's youngest gangster, and another chapter in his whirlwind life was about to begin. Prison.
The police, in their infinite wisdom, and correctly so, decided to take me up and drop me right to prison.
Great fighters always get back up. Bradley was about to do the same.
We used to say, you're knocked down, you'll never be knocked out, you know, you'll come up again. Because you've got to, you know, stand up and...
just get on.
And so it was to be Bradley's first passion, boxing, that would get him back on his feet. All the time that he was involved in the club scene, Bradley had kept up his boxing, and he was not just any old contender. As Scottish Eastern District champ, he was on the verge of representing Britain at the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona.
He was actually on the Olympic select team, and instead of going there, he was locked up. Couldn't believe it.
When Bradley was released from prison, he went from strength to strength.
Some 12 weeks later, after being released, I fought in the semi-finals of the British and beat the last year's British champion. Then, some 2 weeks later, I was away to Italy to box against Italy, then away to Turkey to the championships, and away to Canada. So things were sort of a wee wild one.
Bradley was at the top of the amateur game and decided that now was the time to put his troubled past behind him, leave Edinburgh and become a pro. He travelled to Miami to meet legendary boxing trainer Angelo Dundee, the man behind some of the world's greatest boxers, including Muhammad Ali.
There was a Cuban guy at the same time as me in it, and he was in the ring shadow boxing. And the Cuban guy had literally just swam from Cuba to come to Miami. And there was a delegate from Miami there with him, the Cuban delegate there, and they brought him to the gym because he was an ex-Cuban boxer. And Angelo Dundee's sitting, and I'm wrapping my hands one day with my pal Kenny, and Angelo Dundee's sitting at the ringside watching the guy shadow boxing and doing a bit of bag work, and Angelo Dundee runs over and goes, yeah, this kid's got it. We can make a lot of money from him. And to me, that's what I've said about boxing. The people that run this game and perpetrate it, it's for money. Not the amateurs. Amateurs is great, but a professional game, it's about money. This guy's just fucking swam from Miami, and he's sitting going, we can make a lot of money for this kid. So anyway, I found a great Angelo Dundee. He didn't match up to be the man that I thought he would be anyway.
Although he's left his criminal career behind, it wasn't until she saw my programme about his hooligan past that she started to fully understand the extent of her son's colourful history.
I mean, I was totally amazed watching that and listening to Bradley. You know, where the hell were we when all this was?
We were working.
But believe me, they had it well, and he's, and he knows that.
Now it's Bradley's devotion to his family that has helped him leave his past behind.
So suffice it to say, yes, I'm a little mummy's boy, yeah? And I always will be, yeah? Always will be. I'm a family guy, that's what I'm about. It's for family. What else? All the money in the world, all the big cars, all the houses, all for what? You can't buy what's inside here or what you have with your people.
Disillusioned with the world of professional boxing, he opened a gym in a tough part of Edinburgh, offering the facilities and his knowledge to local kids on a strictly amateur basis. How did this gym come about then?
Well, just obviously having a boxing background myself, yeah, I had 30 years experience in boxing, and I just thought, the boxing gym, university has always been somewhere that people sort of, gather and congregate, and I've just seen my lifetime experience after coming through that criminal stuff. If you train, yeah, you're in touch with yourself, yeah, it's physically, your mind focuses, yeah. I just think it's a great way to touch people. I've been here for 2 and a bit years now, and we do like 300 people through the door every week, yeah. So it's demanding. I mean, that's 300 people. It's like being a social worker, yeah. People come in, they've got their own problems, but I just believe that when you train, you get rid of that part. It's a great way. Physical activity is the best. Any sport, doesn't matter whether it's boxing, judo, karate, whatever. Any kind of physical activity is going to touch somebody.
Now, physical activity is not one of our strong points, but Bradley and the crew insisted. It was time for me to put the gloves on and have a little go myself.
Get that left foot forward, then I want you to look at that shot. No, so fist. Take your time, tell that left hand to come and hit that. It's in the middle, it's just a deltoid, it's an easy jab. One, fucking fantastic. Watch this, so boom and pull back. One, go, one, and again, one. You fucking Danny boy's done this before, mate. Double.
This was hardly what I spent my days off doing, and I was starting to wish I smoked a bit less.
Look at the spots. Go. Go, go, go. Not bad, but you never looked at the spot.
He's certainly a tough taskmaster. I can see that he still has a glint of a fighter in his eye, and now he channels that fighting spirit into helping others in his hometown.
Look, right, lift up. Look, right, too low, who fight? It's fucking, look, West Ham Millwall, look, fucking what's happening? Up here, mate. Look, up, look, back, boom. Look, bingo!
Needless to say, Ricky Hatton won't be having any sleepless nights.
I'm so unfit, mate. It's unbelievable. I need to get up here, mate, I tell you. You know what I mean?
I'd probably struggle against Ricky Martin.
People that are criminals and seek to gain financially. To buy what? Can you buy your family? Can you buy your friends? When you lose your money, you lose nothing. When you lose your health, you lose something. When you lose your character, you lose everything. And that's something...
I'm off to do something you would never dream of doing. I'm going to spend a couple of days on a traveller's site. And this is the guy that's putting me up. Paddy Doherty is a legend amongst the travellers. He's the governor of this site and one of their most respected bare fist fighters. It's a massive part of their culture that's been around for generations.
I thought it was better than 007. I thought, whoa, I'm the man. I am the man.
Among travelling people and fighting people, he's the main man.
He's going to give me an insight into his world and that of the bare knuckle fighter. Knuckle fighting is a style of scrapping as old as fighting itself. It's the original form of boxing, and fights are often brutal encounters.
I would never look at the blood. Fuck it, I'm bleeding. Fuck it, what can I do about it? Let it bleed away. I'll get stitched up there with it. It's only a lick of a wound. It's going to heal.
Paddy's a Doherty, and that means one thing. He's been bred to fight.
Didn't give a fuck for no man, no matter what size he was, or how big, how small. Didn't bother me.
I am fucking shitting myself.
I can't back out now.
Here we go. Couple of little lunatics here. Look. Hello. I'm looking for Paddy Doherty. Do you know where Paddy Doherty is? Have you seen him? Is that where he lives? Over there? Oh, okay. What, over there? Yeah? In the chalet. Is that where do you live? Just over there, do you? Hello. What are you doing? Kid there playing with a gas bottle as you do. You okay? Now I'm starting to get the horrors now, a little bit. I feel a bit lost. Let's have a look up here. Is this where you live, up here? Just have a little look around. Where's Paddy? Is this Paddy? Is this the man? Paddy? Just wanted to ask you how comes you've allowed me to walk on here with a camera, because I know, obviously, you know, travellers and stuff, you know, they're very... keep yourself to yourself.
That's right, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, I appreciate that. I mean, I was just wondering why you've allowed me in. I mean...
Well, it lets you know what we are.
Yeah.
We're not meant out to be what we be. Fucking rubbish and this, that, that, what we're painted out to be. There's good and bad among everyone. But everyone, apparently with us, we're all painted with one brush.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, hey, there's good and bad among everyone.
Of course.
We're not little angels, we're far from that.
Yeah.
But we are people who will help each other. That's the beauty about travellers. They'll go out the way to help each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're all close and you're like unit.
All a click, yeah.
That's
all
what's
one
about,
click,
innit? Yeah.
You know, if you've got a barney with someone, you know you can't win your barney, but you know you can beat him. You say, well, hold on, I'll ask Paddy Doherty, well, can he sort this one out for me?
I've just met this guy, and he's already straight into the fighting chat.
But it was a matter of honour. It's not that you wanted it. After a while, no, I don't need this. And you say, I'm going to get out of it. But you don't get out of it because you get your door knocks. Yeah. I'm 50 years of age. Even now, someone knocked my door.
Really?
Fuck it, I said, come on then. Waste time petting and coaxing. Fuck it, get it on. What can happen to you? Knocked out. End of story, innit? All my chin is all titanium. I've had my chin broken too, snap. I've had my 2 jaws broke. I've had my nose busted. But that's all relevant. You got to take that. Waste time going in if you can't take it.
Absolutely.
And if you're bleeding from there, waste go, oh, I'm bleeding. Fuck that. You're bleeding. Get on with your life. Get on with your fight.
Honour of fighting. Broken jaws. This stuff isn't up my street at all. If he hit me, I'd probably snap in half. Paddy's 39-year career has involved fighting and reffing.
You know what you call it true gladiators? When you see two boys bleeding severely, badly smashed,
just bump.
and they're just still hopping off each other.
Normally you're not allowed to headbutt then, it's just bump.
You're not allowed to do none of that.
None of that, just stand
And if
up.
he falls...
Well, no kicking.
Nothing. You can't kick, you can't bite, you can't...
If he falls, you wait for him to get up and you go again.
He can stay on the floor as long as he wants to. You've got to stand back and just wait till he gets up. But once his hand leaves that ground, you can go down under, bang, cough of this. You can make him do a back somersault. Once that hand leaves that ground, you can do him then.
I tell you what, I didn't know about none of this. I mean,
yeah.
So this is another level, this is.
These fights with rules and refs are known as a fair go, and they only stop when one man gives in, by what travellers call giving best. It means he's been beaten by the better man.
Is that a word you've ever used?
No.
Never?
No, and I wouldn't let my son, no way.
Never.
No. I could live with myself being knocked out, but I'd never live with myself to say, give best. No, I'd never look at me. I'd never look at my sons.
No, of course.
I wouldn't look at my wife. I wouldn't go to bed with my wife.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to bed with myself.
Yeah.
Wouldn't. Oh no, honestly, no, I truly couldn't live with that word.
But in traveller tradition, you can call on a more extreme fight, what's known as a dirty go. In this fight, there are no rules, and fighters do their best to disfigure their opponents. Biting is the weapon of choice.
I can eat you just like I'm eating a bar of chocolate, like I'm eating a Yorkie bar. Your nose, your eye, your lips, your ear, your neck. Yeah, I'll eat you like a Rottweiler. A lot of people bite you and spit you out. Years ago, I didn't believe it. I'd bite you and I'd swallow you. I used to swallow the flesh for fun. Fuck it, and I'm swallowing you and I'd sew that back on. Because you can pick it up and go to the hospital and get it sewed back on because the nerves are still in it. So you can sew it back on. Fuck it, I'll disfigure him because he won't come back to me.
How will that come around? Is that from a major feud, that? Is that like when two men just hate? There's no shaking of hand after that fight then?
You don't shake his hand, you just put your hand up, I am the man. You know what I mean, like that. You don't shake his hand. What don't you shake his hand for? I've just murdered him, I've just hit him. I've just let him know he's nothing. Matter of fact, when you have a dirt to go, you send a message to his family. That's what I can do with all of you. You know what I mean? And that's a sad way, isn't it? But that's the way it's gone now.
What?
A lot of people...
But it's quite a rare thing, is that? A rare thing? Very rare, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people like, nice fair go.
I mean, this geezer, and listen, I've met some dangerous people, but this man oozes man. He's a man's man. You know, he's old school, he's prehistoric, he's got morals, he's got, you know, his respect there. But listen, this is going back to, we're going back to the 1700s, yeah?
While Roseanne delivers the mail, we cautiously wander around the site, and I'm introduced to another dockety, Paddy's horse.
Who's your daddy, it's called? I think I'm going to be jumping on the back of it.
As the men get things sorted, I get a grilling from the kids.
Where do you live? In a big house?
And me?
You live in a big house?
Not a big house, no. I live in a house, though.
Are you a football player?
No, I'm an actor.
I think he's a bit disappointed.
Just get up here and walk out. Come on. Up.
Well, just jump on, yeah?
Yeah, get on there.
Daddy, can we get
on? Welcome.
As with most things with Paddy, I don't really have much choice.
Yeah, Will's going to go, innit?
Yeah, nah, we'll only walk only today and back.
Should we do it? Whoa.
Actually, I don't mind it. But I don't think I'll be taking this back down the M6 to London.
Hello, son.
Hey, my man.
How are you, mate? Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. How you doing, boys?
How you doing, buddy? All right.
Lovely, Danny. Good to meet you.
Cousin of mine.
Good to meet you.
My nephew.
How are you, brother? You all right? Of course, manic here, isn't it?
Fucking good, isn't it?
Oh, it's madness.
Beautiful, isn't it? What do you think?
Oh, some horses here as well, isn't it? Yeah, that's mad. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. I've never seen so many horses in my life.
Nice seeing you as well, mate.
I can tell straight away that Paddy's a big face in the travelling community.
I think you know most of the people here anyway, don't you? It seems like everyone seems to know you, Pad, anyway.
I meet Paddy's old man and a few others.
Good to meet you. Hello, mate. How you doing, son? You all right?
We only stop for a moment and suddenly we're surrounded.
Some people here.
I'm lost in a sea of travellers. It's mayhem. It feels like I've been introduced to everyone. In fact, it's not the people I have to worry about. It's the horses.
Yep. Nah, look at that. That's beautiful, eh? Is that the bollocks, isn't it? Eh?
God, he's giving it that, and he's flat out.
Paddy's showing me something called the trots. This is the business side of things.
Whoa, yeah.
If you're selling a horse, you ride it up and down this road, usually as fast as you can to show it off to potential buyers.
Isn't that lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. No saddle or nothing?
No.
There's no barriers, no health and safety officers. It feels like I've walked into the middle of the Grand National.
Tell you what, it's well there. Listen, we're actually, you know, you make your own choice if you stand in this road. You get run over by one of these horses, it's your own fault, mate. This is where they show, you know what I mean? This is the show, they show. But they fucking give it. They're pulling that horse, mate, to the extreme. Just do a couple of clumps, you're like, whee! See what I mean?
Let's go, yeah?
Brown bread, mate, get hit by one of them.
When I first told people I was going to spend some time with a traveller family, I was told I was mad. You know what? I was really worried.
I've learned a lot about the way travellers live. You know, it's not what you expect at all. I think they get a bad press, to be honest with you, but they're all about family, staying together, and I love the idea of that, you know.
Paddy's been a great host.
You know what? I've grown quite attached to him. You know, I have. I didn't think I would.
The Appleby Horse Fair has been an experience, one that I'll never forget. But for now, I think it's time for me to head home to the relative calm of East London.
So I'd like to just drink me lager now and have a relax. I'm causing a little bit of attention being here. Just I don't think any of them are clock me. I don't think any of them know who I am. Let's just have a little look. That's what I'm dealing with. And that's hard work. That's living dangerously.
I'm going to spend a few days on the streets of Brixton to see if all the Daily Mail headlines are true. And I'm moving in with a former gangster with a rap sheet that reads like something from an Eminem lyric. Mugger, bank robber, crack dealer, you name it, he's done it.
Until just a few years ago, he was right in the thick of it. I mean, he was part of one of Brixton's most feared gangs.
I'm not meeting just another hoodie. Elijah Kerr was a top boy of the PDC, the Pill Dem crew.
PDC was known for like robbing, probably drug dealing, and a few other things. It was kind of feared.
Some people feared us, some people loved us, some people hated us. It was a crazy feeling.
Elijah was a boy of 12 when his career of violent crime began.
I might went to a shop, robbed someone, kicked him and hit him in his head. That would be normal to me. If you get him away, then you're gonna get kicking or something, because if I get caught, I'm going to prison. So don't get him away.
Just a mile or so from where he lives, flowers and tributes lie for the most recent young victim of a fatal stabbing. Reading the messages makes me think just how pointless all these deaths are. It's not long before Elijah arrives, and he's not alone.
Couple of pals wrapped round him, didn't expect that, thought he would have been on his jack. And he said that ex-gang leader, what'd you expect? How you doing, bruv?
Yeah, nice to meet you, bruv.
Pleasure, man, thanks for coming to see me.
He introduces me to Maddox and Michael, both former members of the PDC.
Oh, this is a bit strong, first meeting with you.
Yeah, boy. Normal, innit? You see that everywhere, you see that on lampposts, on street corners, that's just normal now. I think before people that would have been shocking before, but now it's just people probably walk past this every day and it's just nothing.
A 16-year-old was stabbed to death at this spot just 1 week before I made this film.
That could have been me there. That could have been, anyone say, that could have been me right there. I'm saying, those flowers could be for me. We've been in fights like that where that could have been, I could have got stabbed like that, or something could happen, I could have got shot in the head or something. People getting stabbed and shot, but it wasn't as highlighted as it is now. I remember someone getting shot back in the days, and it wasn't the news. Only we knew about it. It was just like a normal thing. He got shot, all right?
Okay.
Before I was gonna die around the 24, 25 years old. I thought I was gonna die around that age. So I'm gonna go to prison, probably come out, have 4 more years to live. That was my attitude.
It's a mad mentality to
that
have to accept death.
That was my attitude. And I just started to say, you know what? Fuck the system. Fuck everyone. I don't care about no one. Fuck it.
I've not even been with him for an hour, and he and his 2 former gang members are stopped by the police.
So I've obviously just met up with Elijah. I've not been with him for more than, well, not even half hour yet. I'm following him around, and he's been tagged. Got a couple of chaps around him. The old Bill have pulled him already. Oh, shit. Well, another old Bill motor's turned up. I don't know what's going on here. It's a nightmare.
It makes me think, am I staying under the same roof as a former gangster, or an active one?
I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping it's all going to be sweet. I hope he ain't got about fucking 20 guns in his motors. We're fucked. Fucking hell.
There are 3 police cars and 5 officers. I think this might be serious.
Because this car's being driven illegally. This gentleman hasn't got a driving licence, and that means he hasn't got a lot of insurance.
That's no need for that. They always got something to say all the time.
It's a tense situation. The banter isn't friendly.
Just because they know us, they say this what happens all the time. Saying.
I was going to say, I've been with you 20 minutes.
Exactly,
it's on you already.
There you go.
Got more old Bill and all. Anything else? Bang on us.
That's why I don't need anything out of this car. All the cars that we own, they're high risk, so they're known for like drugs, guns and all that. So obviously we get stopped all the time.
They've not found any drugs or guns, but Maddox, who was driving, doesn't have a valid licence or insurance. But it feels like there's more to this than meets the eye. It's more about who they are than just a traffic violation. The old Bill are obviously keeping a close eye on anyone with PDC connections. As we sat in a restaurant eating dinner, it felt like things had calmed down. I couldn't have been more wrong. After all, it was Friday night in Brixton. While we were eating, Elijah received a phone call.
Hello.
There'd been another stabbing on the Angeltown estate, very close to where he lives. I decided to go to the scene of the crime with Elijah.
The second left here, not this one, the second one.
We arrived to find the police investigating a stabbing that has happened just a couple of 100 yards from Elijah's front door.
Elijah's gaff's just over there. Somebody right here, this little manor, it's been stabbed up. I can see actually the blood over there. There's some blood. This is obviously the guy's trainer. I know, it's fucking just a horrible feeling. All the old Bill putting their forensic suits on now, look, you know what I mean? Just a normal Friday night, I suppose, in Brixton. This ain't nothing new to nobody that lives around here.
It all feels so extreme. Stabbing someone over an argument, to take someone's life, and then have 10 or 15 of your own taken away doing a prison sentence. What makes someone do that? Who are these people?
It hits home how real it is, you know what I mean? It is such a, you know, for them it's just walk off a duck's back, but I mean, this is the real deal, man. There's no bollocks here.
I would have got more reputation for making more money, but now I think you get more big reputation. Is the more violent you are. So the more stabbings or probably the more shootings you are, you're the big man.
We're off to meet some lads that Elijah knows from another estate in nearby Stockwell.
Okay. We'll speak to some of the local lads on there.
Look at a few of the young boys, yeah.
Saying, who's left into this estate coming up here?
I want to ask those who live on these streets why violence and stabbings are becoming an everyday thing. It's hard to believe it's just about status and making a name for yourself.
Do you think it's turning into now just this whole idea of everyone running around stabbing each other and it's over nothing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, really and truly, yeah, but me personally, caught up in it. But it's mostly like the youngers, like the little ones, like I think they have something to prove, like they
what,
feel
as young as what, like
14, 15, like they might think they have something to prove so they can roll with the older ones, but that's probably about it, like they probably just take it out of hand, innit, like thinking, well, they get respect from the older ones.
So you boys don't feel the pressure that you got to run around with knives on you?
Not even, tell the truth.
It's just a rare thing then, Elijah, I ain't being funny.
Yeah, what you find, yeah, a lot of the a lot of the guys now, they're kind of seeing that, you know what, it's not even worth it. Because at the end of the day, what everyone's getting involved in and fighting over and beefing over is just something stupid. That's not everyone's like that, I'm saying. So these are the sensible ones out of a lot of lunatics.
And if they want to get involved, they get involved in it.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to get involved, then they don't get involved. So
Yeah.
that's how it is, really.
Yeah.
It's up to them at the end of the day, the way I see it.
The stakes have been raised to a whole new level, and it's really, really frightening. Where once it was fists and fighting, now it seems to be knives and death. After breakfast, we head back to the scene of the stabbing. I want to see the aftermath of the incident.
That's the blood,
Yeah, got it. It's a fucking pool of blood, that, isn't it?
This was an incident the police had described as minor.
It's not a nosebleed, is it? Let's be honest. I mean, how can that be minor?
If
You try telling the geezer's mother that's minor.
minor, yeah.
You know what I mean?
By a strange coincidence, Elijah was going to bring me here anyway. This is the same part of the estate where he reached the peak of his criminal activity. Crack dealing. Well, he wasn't going to be a plumber, was he? After his release from prison for robbery at 17, he tried to go legit as a music events organiser, but it didn't work out.
People say to me, "We've got bank account." Like, what bank account for what? Like, what do you mean bank account? I don't
You didn't even have a bank account?
No, like my money goes in my box. Like my money goes in my room, and I don't need bank account. So I didn't know about all this kind of stuff. So I said, you know what, this is it for me. I'm going back to I need to do something else. And I said, you know what, drug game.
Crime was what he knew, and the drug game proved to be highly lucrative.
I was making like £500 a day to like £2-3 grand a day.
Really?
Each individual's making, I'm saying.
Elijah and the PDC transformed the whole derelict block on the estate into a crack dealing business.
One of the guys I sold drugs to, he went off, he was with a girl, and he came back and said to me, like, yeah, she was smoking all night, she died, she's dead. I was like, fuck, you telling me that for? I was like, fuck. I was like, what the fuck? I said, what you want to buy? You want to buy some more drugs?
And I see for myself something else that has given him a focus for change. He's accepted Islam and prays at least 5 times a day. The more time I've been with him, listened to him, and got to know him, the more I actually believe he's making a conscious effort to change and move further and further away from the kind of person he was.
I done lots of bad stuff in the past, so obviously I still have dreams about all that stuff. But I still see like people's face pop up, and I'm thinking, who the hell is that? But obviously that's like your subconscious, like that's things from your subconscious that you saw at the time, but because at the time you didn't understand what you was doing or you just didn't care, it wasn't affecting you. But now my mind's changed, like those things pop back up. I'm like, fuck, you know, like when I remember certain things, I think, fuck, you know, what was I doing? How I was living a couple of years ago, I should have been dead, innit? So every day I pray, I'm thankful for that I'm still here, and I've kind of changed my whole ways, and the record label's here now, and all this stuff's going on for me now. So I say, you know what, I'm thankful for it. It's more from a discipline as well for yourself. So you're kind of like ready for the day and you're focused. Some people might smoke a spliff and say, this makes me focus in the morning. Some people might
Probably more method.
Yeah. I say, some people might have a snort like, oh, I'm fresh in the morning.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's probably me. Shit.
My time in Brixton with Elijah has come to an end. I've realised something positive has come out of his past. People listen to him because he's seen it, he's done it, and got quite a few T-shirts.
I've learned that, you know, these kids need people like you around them because you've done it. You've done the bird for it. You made a point, you don't lecture them. Can't lecture them.
You can't lecture them, no way.
Listen to you and you channel it in the right way.
You can still make more money in the streets in one day than you can probably make in doing anything legal. But at the same time, that's a short journey. I say that's most of the time you end up dead or in prison. I can see a bigger dream right now, so it's me working hard and coming out of it is worth it. I'm saying, so I can see that what we're working towards is gonna be much bigger than anything that can ever possibly happen in the streets.
So I'm about to meet David McMillan, a man who spent 30 years masterminding multi-million-pound drug deals. I'm gonna spend a few days with him so I can get inside the mind of a drug smuggler. He's putting me up so I can see how the other half lives.
Is your name Dave?
It is, as a matter of fact.
Pleasure to meet you, Sunshine. I'm Danny.
Hi, Danny. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. You done me there. I was running around like a lunatic there trying to spot you out. But I would never, if I was customs, you would have fucking got away with it, son. Why a drug smuggler?
Ah, that. Well, because it's a problem-solving thing, isn't it? So that's the fun of it. And the more difficult it is, kind of stupidly, I've never been able to resist it when somebody says, no, we've tried it from there, it can't be done.
That excites you, the idea of taking something on that's never been done before. You fuck up, that's it, it's over really, isn't it?
Well, it depends where you are. In most of Asia, I've been arrested in most Asian countries, I guess, and usually got out of it.
In the 70s, it was popular for hippies to go to India to get high. So that's where David headed. But he was there for business, not pleasure. On his way back home, David hid hashish in his radio. He was stopped by customs officials.
Well, to cut a long story short, he let me through. He saw it. Nobody was much around, and he didn't really want to arrest this, 19-year-old imbecile. He said, are you going back there? No. I shook my head. Last trip, is it? All right, take your radio and go. So I don't think I really saw this realistically at the time. I thought I was a clever chap and I got away with it.
This was a turning point that set David off on a 30-year career in drug smuggling. If he could get away with this, then why not bigger shipments?
I found that smuggling hash was very bulky, so then I moved on to A-class drugs.
David's taken me for a taste of his old life in one of Soho's Thai restaurants, where his unassuming manner catches me off guard with a very surprising story.
Thailand for me has happy memories, but also it's got kind of bad memories. I had a major arrest there and found myself in a Thai prison.
In 1993, he was locked up in Thailand's infamous Klong Prem Central Prison, aka the Bangkok Hilton, a stay that could have been the end of him. I've heard stories about this place, but I didn't think I'd ever meet anyone who'd actually spent time there.
Is that like a reality just smacking you around the face and going, right, okay, this is real, this is really happening. This is probably one of the worst prisons in the world.
And I've seen many a hard man from this side of the world crumble in those kind of places.
The Bangkok Hilton is one of the worst prisons in the world. The prisoners spend 15 hours a day in their cells and are forced to share with 20 others in a space meant for 5. But David's stay here was about to be cut short, literally.
The lawyer said, no, you're for the drop. I was going to be convicted for sure there. Now, 200 grams, it's still death penalty.
Death penalty, death by firing squad, is it? Or is it death by...
firing.
It's quite a medieval way of going about it, isn't it? It's
a machine gun welded to a bench. You're about 6 feet away, so not likely to miss. And there's a big sheet put in front of you, spare everybody the embarrassment. Now, bear in mind, at this stage, you've had 30 lashes with barbed wire and your last meal. In that order, you know, what would you be ordering?
Now, Dave, is that not a deterrent for you? I mean, clearly it wasn't, but I mean, that is horrific.
I had no choice. I had to escape. And only after I'd abandoned all the phony bribery attempts and also half-baked plans that other people had offered, I ended up having to do it in the most basic way possible. Of course, being a smuggler was an advantage in my situation. For I had to smuggle in half the equipment I needed.
First, he cut his way out of his cell with a hacksaw blade. He then constructed a ladder made out of picture frames, a couple of bamboo poles, and some duct tape.
It was probably the most complicated thing I've ever had to do in one night.
It's ironic that as a child, David had made a film about escaping from prison. 25 years later, he'd be doing it for real. Only this time, the guards had real guns and real bullets.
I was in one building surrounded by 7 other walls, and surrounded by a moat of some 30 metres and topped by a wall of over 20 metres with electric wiring around it.
He doesn't look much like Steve McQueen, but he is the only Westerner ever to break out of the Bangkok Hilton.
For me, you know, the idea that you've got, you know, there'll be drugs stashed, so you're battling, you know, to you know, cat and mouse with the police, but you're also battling against the elements. I don't know what's worse.
Well, I think...
What would worry you more?
I think a bribable Venezuelan Coast Guard would be a much better thing than Force 10 Hurricane. Because they just won't take your money, those hurricanes, will they? It's just peeing in the wind.
David's moved drugs on boats like this, and it was some of the best smuggling that he did.
Almost 90% of my smuggling was by air. That 10 to 15% by boat was the most valuable.
Really?
That came into tonnage, and it came into a lot of millions. On a boat this size, providing you've got the time and you're not too greedy, you can make quite a good dishonest living by traveling the world. If somebody is at your door, becoming violent, threatening your family, well, you cannot let it go on. Well, there have been times when people have disappeared. Now, there's a rule about murder. You never confess to one, and I'm certainly not a rule breaker when it comes to that.
Suddenly, this boat anchored off the coast of Brighton is feeling very small indeed. I've just realised how dangerous this guy was. But in 1979, he suffered a big blow. He was arrested in Australia when he was connected to a conspiracy to import heroin in a racket worth $96 million. He was 23 years old. 116 witnesses were called in the 6-month trial. David had used every trick in the book to get away with it, but was under a huge amount of pressure to confess, and the police went to extraordinary measures to break him. While he was in custody, the police moved into his house, and eventually, all that he had was either taken from him or destroyed.
Police lived in my house for 3 weeks. They held parties there, shit in a swimming pool. They painted over the oil paintings. They burnt the wooden carvings made of hewn pine that I'd collected over the years.
How did that make you feel? Did that make you feel angry? I mean, was it a bit of anger?
Naturally. My wife was arrested. And she was in there for 3 weeks. And she died in that prison.
Really?
She was burnt to death in a fire in the women's prison.
Oh, sorry. Terrible.
It really made me feel incredibly guilty. If I've never felt guilty about anything, I felt guilty about her death. That's my worst crime.
The trial had slipped through David's fingers. He was eventually sentenced to 17 years in Australia's infamous Pentridge jail. As a cruel joke, on his arrival, he was given old police surveillance recordings of his dead wife, a voice from the grave.
I'm given a tape recorder, and I can hear my wife moving from room to room in the house. And on one of them, her sister ringing, and she must have been sounding upset. Her sister said, "Have you been crying?" She said, "Oh, no, not really." Well, is it David? No, it's nothing. And they went on to talk about something else. But you think then your entire life is gone, and you've got these mysteries of people that you're close to. Many people would have felt so crushed they would have got out of anything to do with the drug business. But in fact, it was a declaration of war for me.
David's lived an amazing life, one that few could have survived. He's now found a new one with the love of a good woman, and it seems to suit him well. David's biggest gamble is to go on the straight and narrow. I feel confident that he won't go back to the smuggling game, now that he has so much to lose.
I'm on my way to meet a guy named Mo Teague.
Drop the knife, drop the fucking knife.
Mo's speciality is killing people with his bare hands.
You fucking want it?
His experiences on the battlefield have shaped him into one of Britain's most dangerous men.
My mission is to try and get inside this guy's head, which means I'm going to have to spend a couple of days with him. I'll be honest with you, I mean, I don't know how this guy's going to be.
I've got to admit, I'm surprised to see Mo living in such a nice and homely place. This home is about as far away from the horrors of war as you can get.
So let's have a little look around then, Mo. Yeah, is that all right, son?
Yeah, sure.
But then I noticed something on the shelf that doesn't look like your normal household ornament.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah.
I've never actually tested it to see as to whether it's...
Don't wind me up. What do you mean?
Well, I've never actually pulled the pin and found out. I mean, I know there's a fuse in there, so I've never actually... Should we let it off in the garden or something?
Nah, you're all right. I feel it.
Yeah, it's a heavy piece of kit, isn't it?
I can't stress to you how heavy it is. It's like... That is just death. How many people could that iron out?
Oh, a few. Yeah, a few.
So you just have that sitting up there like that, just...
It's an ornament.
Up next to a
apparently.
picture of... what's this? What's going on up here?
Oh, that's my youngest. Taking over. Yeah, a bit of a contrast there.
A bit of a mad area to put it in, I would have thought, you know?
Yeah. They're artillery spotters' binoculars, so they use that grid to work out ranges and deflections and things like that.
Wow, it's really clear, isn't it?
Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah, it's a quality pair of these,
Yeah,
isn't
they're really nice. But I took them off the guy I killed.
This guy that you killed?
I killed him, yeah.
I've got no idea what I'm in for. All I know so far is that he's killed people in battle, but that was in a war. This is a bar, which is usually somewhere I feel quite relaxed in, but not today.
So, okay, so you...
So, imagine it's all kicked off, you're having a go at me.
So I'll come into you like that. Oh, fuck me. All right, okay, yeah. So I said, all right, yeah. Caught me right in the heart then.
Yeah.
No, that's a powerful tool, that, don't it?
Your elbows are, yeah, that's...
So what? So just do it slowly. You ain't got to hurt me, all right?
Now, once I get in here, okay, I can reach in, boom, headbutt.
Yep, gotcha.
There's your eye rip your eye out. Okay, you relaxed?
Well, a bit.
So I've headbutt, I flick you in the eye, boom, catch you here like this.
Fucking hell. Right, I think some other could do this demonstration. Oh, that was a shock to the system, that was. No, that rattled me head.
I must admit I didn't expect that. This guy's using real violence on me. This isn't like a film where punches get pulled. I'm half tempted to walk out, but I don't want to lose face. So I agreed to another demonstration, even though I don't feel 100% safe.
Close your mouth, clench your teeth.
No, what are you going to do?
I'm just going to give you a tap, just
right,
from
good.
here. I'm not going to pull my hand back or anything like that. Just relax, no, relax. Just relax.
You knocked me spark out. For fuck's sake, Mo, slow down. Fucking hell. Right, well, that shook me. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
Fucking sweating and everything now.
Mo just punched me hard in the jaw and it really hurt. It feels like he's daring me to have a go at him. There's no more Mr. Nice Guy. He's switched to dangerous mode. Feeling brave thanks to the booze, I asked Joanne what she did to cause her dad such grief.
Well, I got in with the wrong crowd and started taking drugs and going out and, you know, all that. And then when you're in that crowd, you meet the wrong sort of man, don't you? And I met the wrong sort of man.
Okay.
She explains how the man she married made her life a living hell. His violent and controlling ways verged on the psychotic. But surely he must have been scared of Mo.
Not at all, and I think that as far as he was concerned, it was kind of like sticking two fingers up at my dad.
I think the first time I met him, she had a black eye, and it was, you know, it was the same old. Oh, it was the same old rough play. We were mucking around, that sort of thing. So, you know, I'm expected then to react in type. In other words, you know, kind of go charging in there, fist flailing and everything else.
But then you immediately lose your daughter.
Exactly. So, you know, I see things in terms of a long game. You have to play the long game.
Of course, of course.
I mean, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say, I mean...
Listen to him. Mo, say what you got to say now, and if you don't, you know, we can take it out.
He was 15 minutes away from being shot.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it went that far. We had somebody to do the business.
Yes.
I'm shocked by this. I have 2 daughters and I can understand Mo's strategy, but shooting your own son-in-law. I'm reminded how ruthless this man can be when it comes to hurting people. I feel I really bonded with him last night. But when he spoke of how close he came to having his son-in-law shot, I realised that there was a lot more to learn. So I asked him if he's ever had any involvement with the criminal underworld.
I did hang out with a criminal gang, and I used to look after all their guns for them. And then when they had to go and do a job, we'd come and get the guns.
So you'd stash the guns?
Yep.
You like the idea of that?
Yeah. I can't lie.
After returning from the Gulf War in 1991, he started to fall into a life of crime.
I got involved then in that lifestyle, and I just thought I'd have some of that. You know what I mean? I'll get involved in that because I thought it was glamorous and
glitter, you know, and all that bollocks.
It was all the lingo, and it was all new, and it was the adrenaline. I was doing something that I knew was naughty.
Mo was out of the war zone, but found he needed something to replace the adrenaline rush of battle. This meant he became a menace to society.
We got stopped about 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd had a drink, and I was driving the car, and the police pulled me over, and I don't know why, but I chinned the copper. So
you've got no idea why, you just thought, why, he's going to get it.
He's going to get it, so I chinned him, legged it. I didn't know the area very well, so I'm running towards the police station. It's a bit like, then all of a sudden the fucking Keystone cops come charging down.
Yeah, now.
Give me a right good hiding.
So you got a clump out of it, yeah, you chin a copper, mate, you bang the
That's
trouble.
it. Yeah.
I'm still getting my head around the thought of Mo laying out a policeman. But then he drops a bombshell.
While all this was happening, I'd come back from Iraq, and I was working. I was basically, to all intents and purposes, a royal photographer. Any occasion where the army were involved with the royal family, which was probably about once a week in London, I was going over and taking. I was in close proximity with the royal family, behind the scenes, with the Queen and Princess Diana. Yeah. So
very close to him at the time. I mean, you know,
just like we are now. You know, absolutely, just taking photographs of the royal family every week. Then I was hanging out with these criminals.
So a lot on the brain then, Mo. A lot going on. A lot to juggle.
I lost the plot a little bit.
Oh, you want some, Mo? I'll kill you. Hey?
How you doing?
How are you?
Come on in, mate.
Oh, you got some get-up on there, Mo.
Oh, yeah, not half.
You've got some get-up on. He's got some get-up on.
And guess what's coming next?
Oh, no, Mo. What's coming next, mate? As long as I ain't going to get punched in the mouth again.
Let me just see that I've got the right size for you.
Oh, no. What we got going on here, Mo?
Here we go.
OK, Mo. So we're not going to just be sitting out in your garden?
No, mate. We're going to take a little walk in the country. We're going to do a little bit of a walk in the country.
Right, OK. Is this my get-up, is it?
This is your get-up.
So I'll get this gear on. And then
get the gear on and then we'll take it from there.
And then we're going to go on a little bit of a mission, are we?
We're going to go on a mission, yeah.
Right, let's chuck this bit of clobber on then. No looking at me arse and all.
To get the full behind enemy lines experience, Mo wants to teach me one of the basics, how to kill with your bare hands.
I want to show you how to take out a sentry, OK? We've got no weapons, no knife. You can pick up a rock, land it around the back of the head with that.
A bit messy though, that, Mo, is it?
A little bit messy.
The victim is another one of Mo's martial arts students. If Mo doesn't actually kill the guy doing this demo, then I got a feeling I'll be seeing him later in the woods.
You don't look directly at him. And we just come in like this. We're looking just in his back, but not looking directly at him, OK?
Any reason for that? Why?
Well, because people can sense when they're being... You ever get that feeling, I'm being watched?
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, okay.
Whether you believe in that or not, but that's the way we teach it, right? So you scrim that like this, OK? So you hold it, so it's going to go around. You're looking down, you're going to sneak up to him, OK, nice and quiet. And basically this goes over his head, this way, so it goes around under his chin. You twist it like this, and you snap him down this way. Once he's down like this, you put your knee on him like this, and you chop him like this. Right on that neck.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's a goner.
Right behind me. You have a look behind me.
Mo gives the order to take out the enemy scout. I was half expecting this, but now I've got to actually do it.
You know where it is, Mo?
I don't think I can do this.
Fuck off.
No, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, right?
Yeah, come on, you can do it.
No, I've just had a little moment. I was over there.
No, you're all right.
I was taking my strides off.
Come on.
Right, and I was unravelling the cling film.
And?
And I thought, I can't be fucking ponying in a bit of cling film.
Why
Listen,
not?
if I was in a proper war situation I was doing, I totally understand what you're doing here because you're trying to give me an insight into what it would be like. I don't think I can have a shit in a bit of cling film.
You could if you tried.
No, but I can't do it, mate. I feel embarrassed because you took time out to take me out. You know, you got all the gear for me, but I can't fucking bring myself to do it.
In Britain, the rate of suicide and the number of war veterans going to prison is on the increase because men like Mo T come back home from the war zone and realise they've got another battle to fight in Civvy Street. This time it's a battle to keep their sanity. I think that Mo is winning his personal war. Through his martial arts, he's found a way of channeling his violence into a controlled discipline. Mo Teague is a lovely fella, and I warm to him and his family. It feels like I've made a new friend. I think he's mostly happy with his life, but a part of Mo will always remain just like the live grenade he keeps in his living room. A dangerous weapon that you won't want to be too close to if it goes off. Cage fighters are becoming the new stars of the fight game, and I want to know what it's all about. So I'm heading up to Huddersfield to spend a few days with two of the toughest in the country.
I am the best lightweight in the country!
Not only do they share a love for a battle, they share a birthday. In fact, they were born only 22 minutes apart. They're twins, Dave and Ian Butlin.
I want to go to Huddersfield!
As they started telling me more about themselves, I discovered that being minor celebrities and local faces in Huddersfield means everyone wants to have a pop at them.
Fighting civilians, we call them civilians, people who aren't trained to fight what you'd call the hardest guy in the pub. Basically like shooting fish in a barrel, that's not even sport.
I feel that because Dave can't fight, he's got Ian doing his fighting for him.
Dig deep, everything you've got!
But Ian isn't the only one who fights for Dave. I've come to Quantum Gym where he coaches up-and-coming fighters. Dave is a highly respected coach and was selected to take charge of the England mixed martial arts team, which consists of 5 fighters in different weight classes. Ian is the lightweight. Before he began cage fighting professionally, Ian was a boxer with an impressive record, winning many local and international titles. But they both fell in love with cage fighting when they saw the Ultimate Fighting Championship, or the UFC, a no-holds-barred form of fighting with very few rules. It emerged from the States in the 90s and suited the Butlin twins to a T.
So we watched the Ultimate Fighting Championship and it's like everything together. I thought, well, this is fucking perfect. So we then used to get people around to our garage on a Friday night. All the kids in the area just used to fight each other.
Used to whack each other and
until one person gave up.
Until one person quit.
To get some idea of what it's like, I'm going to give it a bash, starting off with this tyre.
Keep working, keep working!
Go on to the bungee.
I've only just started, and already my whole body is in absolute agony.
Good. Come on, keep working.
This is not your average training programme. It was created by a Royal Marine, and it's designed to sort the men from the boys.
Come on, keep working. Go on, push it.
Fuck that.
No building the same down south.
I've only done one circuit, but that was enough for me.
Oh man, fucking hell. That was fucking proper hard. On me rabbit, on me game. Oh man. It's embarrassing, man. That wasn't even like fucking 1% of what they put in there, and that's just fucked me. I'll give up smoking and boozing is what I've got to do. Not nice when you've got a bit of rabbit coming out your fucking nose, I'll tell you that now.
Ian is the less disciplined twin, and it wasn't long before his love of fighting got out of control. When he was 16 years old, he was convicted of being involved in a fight with a fellow pupil who was stabbed with a knife. Ian was sent to a young offenders institution for 3 months, and Dave was asked to leave the school in case he intimidated a witness.
I was absent with the headmaster's permission so as not to intimidate witnesses.
Obviously it must have been bad for you, but just having him not around, not being able to, look out for him.
Kind of strange. Helpless.
I can tell that this had a big effect on the boys. I can only imagine what it must have been like to be separated for the first time in 16 years.
We are very close, so it's hard to be put away from my brother for so long.
I wouldn't want it to happen again. I wouldn't want it to be took away where we were in that situation again.
So what we're going to do today? Right, we're going to have a nice day just laying in a hammock.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. We're just going to go up to these. There's a few stairs that I run up and down.
There's a few stairs you run up and down. Right, okay, let's fucking do it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Come in, boy.
A couple of stairs. That doesn't sound too bad. But we are talking about something that Rocky might want to swerve. The 220 steps, which Ian goes up and down 12 times, are all about training him mentally.
Got to hit every single step. I think there's about 220. So we've got to hit every step from right at the bottom all the way up.
So I love the idea of this prehistoric fucking train.
It's nice. This is
old school, isn't it?
Yeah, this is like Rocky shit.
Don't cost fuck all.
Nah.
But yet you're doing, as much.
And it's nice for me to get out of the gym and do something.
Right, let's walk down then first. Do you jog down or do you walk?
Nah, we walked down the first time.
Thank fuck for that.
Walking down these steps is hard enough. I'm not looking forward to running back up them.
This is the start?
This is the start.
Oh. Fucking hell.
You cool?
Right, go on, kid.
We can do this. We can do this. Let's go.
Go on, crack on. I'm up your arse.
My legs are burning. They feel like they're on fire. Fuck. I thought I'd reach the top, but I'm only halfway.
Fucking hell. I can't fucking do it. I can't get up there. I can't do it. Fucking hell. Oh.
Tough on the old thighs.
The legs, isn't it?
The legs.
Fucking hell.
So this is not so much cardio as legs.
It's all there, isn't it?
All in your thighs, yeah. It's like an endurance test.
If I started it, I thought...
Have to get back down, do another.
Crack on, kid. I started it. I thought... This ain't that bad. It's a piece of piss. Oh, fucking hell. That was pain. That was pain. Yeah, I can't deal with it, mentally, obviously, I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Off he goes again. It's torture, it's like torturing yourself. So you can give up whenever you want, you can stop whenever you want, you ain't got a gun to your head, there's no one forcing you to do it, this is off his own bat. And you can tell he's in fucking pain. But to be fair, if you can do that 12 times, you get in the ring, you're going to feel invincible. There's nothing you're going to fear.
Now I've got a fear of heights too, so Ian wants me to experience what he went through. So I'm going to try and jump off a 10-metre platform. I'm introduced to Ian's friend, Les Allen, who's been helping him to conquer his fear of heights.
Danny Dyer, Les Allen.
Pleasure to meet you, brother. Pleasure, man. I'm ready for this, I think.
Yeah?
Nah, because no. Don't be ridiculous.
The nerves are starting to kick in now, but I've come this far and I can't back down. As soon as I see it, I knew exactly how Ian felt.
No way.
The boys are going to ease me into it by starting me off on the 5-metre board. That wasn't too bad, but I'm not feeling as confident about the 10-metre board.
So you're just going to go off?
No, I'm not, I mean, my way is flipping forward or anything like that.
Nah, you'll be all right. Just stay looking forward like that. You're going to be totally fine. I'm going.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely bricking it.
I'll do it, I will do it, I will do it.
For each your own, for every man a religion.
Fucking hell. Oh, I've done it, fucking done it, yes.
Good work, that's fucking good.
Oh,
First goal, straight off 10,
there,
conquer the fear.
Conquer the fear there, mate.
Yeah, that's something else to achieve.
I can see why Ian wanted to overcome his fears. Now that I've conquered my own, I feel invincible.
Listen, you know what this is all it is? It's your brain just going, you know...
With everything like this, it's just mental.
Your brain,
it's mental, like I said, running up them stairs, getting in that cage, everything, it's all in your head. It's just having that mental strength. We did it.
It is a nice feeling to feel I've done it. I mean, there was a moment when I just thought I can't do it. I can't actually physically bring myself to do it. Anyway, on a lighter note, I thought I'd bring my little pink number out today. You know what I mean? See, it's all a myth, all this Danny Dyer hard man bollocks. And I'm a very feminine fucking fella.
Perfectly matched in size, Ian couldn't ask for a better sparring partner.
Regards sparring, it's ideal with us being pretty much equal size.
Fucking hell. How hard will Dave push his brother?
If we're going to be really honest about it, Dave doesn't drink and lives a clean lifestyle. Whereas I party between my fights. So Dave's physically in good condition all year round, whereas you can catch me on an off day.
Ian says he's the best lightweight in the country, but I'm not sure if he's even the best lightweight in his family.
I think Dave's a stronger, better fighter, yeah.
Get hold of that.
Do you remember this one now?
Yeah, I remember it now.
Good to see the banter between you and all, because it's obviously a little banter.
Yeah, while we're whacking
little
each
wink,
other.
little wink, little smile. No, it's good. It's a cheeky one there.
I'm pretty sure Bruce Lee said never take your eyes off your opponent. Even when you're talking to Danny Dyer.
Ian has got another chance to prove that he can do it. He's back in the gym and training hard for the next fight. Dave, as usual, is right by his side, driving him on.
Keep fighting! Keep fighting!
It's been a unique journey into two very different minds. The childhood battles have been left behind, and now one twin fights for the other around the world. But the psychological struggle between them will rage on forever. I'm on my way there to spend a couple of days with a man on the front line on the war on binge. Not a copper, a bouncer. His name is Steve Sinclair, aka the Blackpool Rock.
Now, I've never been before, but I know how rough it can get on a night out. What makes someone do it? What makes a man stand there and be a target for a group of drunken lads on a night out? You know, it's a dangerous game. I'm going to be living and breathing the life of one of Blackpool's most notorious faces, and to really get an idea of what it's like to be in his shoes, I'm going to be working the doors with him. Not acting, certainly not for fun, for real. How do you feel about me going on the door? Do you think I got the presents for it? What do you reckon?
He doesn't seem convinced. Steve's fearless attitude has meant that he'll take on anyone, whatever the odds, even if they're tooled up. So it's no surprise that he's had the odd close call. One night on the door, he took on 20 boys from Preston, a fight that almost sent him to an early grave.
I've got here and I've just started feeling all weak and dizzy. And I've looked down and my leg was red. So when I pulled my jacket back, it's from there And that's,
Let's have a look.
you see the puncture wound.
So it was just, I mean, you can't really remember, but it was just obviously a little slippery bump.
Never felt it, never even felt it. Got to the hospital, there's a queue. So I'm stood in the queue like that. I've got my elbow tucked in, holding it, and waited 5-10 minutes. I've got to the front, and then she said, "What's the problem?" I said, "I've been stabbed." I said, "Where?" So I've gone like that, and blood spurted out onto her desk, and she started screaming. Anyway, they reckon I'd lost about 3 to 4 pints.
Okay, what's your initial reaction to that? Is it anger, or is it a bit like, right, I've had a let off, because it could have been a lot worse? But you can't wait to get back out on the door. Is that what it is?
No, 2 weeks later, I was in hospital for 9 days. 2 weeks later, I was back on the door.
You couldn't wait to get back on the door, yeah?
You have to prove something to yourself.
Steve's mates arrive. The mood turns serious.
Pleasure to meet you, boys. Thanks for coming over to see me.
Paul, the man on my right, told me how he got into a load of trouble when a punter pulled a knife on him.
Put his hand in his pocket, took his glasses off, said he won't give a fucking throat. So I hit him and he died.
Really? It was a one punch, that was it?
One punch,
Totally. Oh, okay.
It's easy, I regret it, don't get it. I think about it every day.
No, of course, I can imagine. But just it seems that one punch just absolutely ironed him out, yeah.
It's one of them things that happens to all of us. We've all had it. We've all had people on life support machines. And it's not a case of using too much force.
And what you mean, just from people that you've hit?
Yeah, but all it is like you bang the guy, he could have thrown 4 or 5 shots at you. And you moved away, boom, down, he's banged his head, he's dead.
I said earlier that you could easily underestimate this man, and I think I just have. Steve's got a few old things, but not the kind of stuff you'll see on the Antiques Roadshow.
It just pulls out like...
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I knew there'd be something going on. That's a lovely little stick you got.
Just a little boy. You have to slot it in properly.
I know how to slot things in, Steve. I know how to slot things in.
Somebody comes calling.
Oh, okay. So you can keep that at the door, just in case.
If anyone comes knocking, I knock back.
Well, they won't be knocking again, will they?
No.
Well, they certainly won't be knocking with their fucking hands. Okay.
Steve's place is a cosy family home, but that hammer by the door really brings back to me his other life outside the house. It's time for me to get my head in the game and sort myself out for tonight.
I like the whistle.
Now I've got the suit, I'm heading back to Steve's to get into makeup and finish off my doorman look.
Right. Mug. Right. Been waiting around all day. Tension's building now. Just want to get on the door and I want to experience it. So, you know, the time's come for me to start getting into my disguise.
I've been told it's going to take a couple of hours. I just hope this works. If I'm spotted tonight, I won't be able to work the door and see Steve in action. Simon Jordan, eat your heart out.
You would never think it's me, but I'm meant to be a doorman. Look at me. I look like I should be sitting in a fucking library. I actually look quite clever, I like that. I look like one brainy fucker. I look like someone who's... I look like a right number bod.
Now to see what Steve thinks of the transformation.
I know I look about as intimidating as that cushion, all right? But I'm not meant to really be intimidating. It's just first impressions. What do you reckon?
And that's what I'm worried about. Tonight, anything could happen. But before I hit the door, I want to see if this disguise is going to work.
I've just got to the first place. This is the sort of the test. See if anyone recognises me before we go into the club. So I'm hoping this is going to work without the glasses. I'm just going to keep my fucking mouth shut, keep my head down and walk in the gaff.
After my pool game and meeting all the fans yesterday in the pub, I just hope I haven't blown it. I'm meant to be undercover, But in this luminous gear, I'm not feeling very inconspicuous.
Shit, I've been recognised, bollocks.
Time for a rethink. With a hidden camera on me, I step out into the street to give it another go. I really want to experience working on the door, but if this doesn't work, I don't think I really understand what's made Steve so fearless.
Result. That was good, I got away with it.
Staying good in here.
It all seems to be working really well. I'm made up until my producer overhears something.
You hear that?
What?
Danny Dyer's going to be in the syndicate tonight. Did you not hear that?
No.
Now it's obvious that everyone in town knows where I'm going to be tonight, and I can hear people talking about me.
He's been in...
Very interesting. People slagging me off. Very strange.
I felt angry. I'm glad to be back in the car with Steve.
I walked down that alley. Nobody recognised me. I was getting a few funny looks because I looked like a twat, but it was interesting because I heard a couple of geezers slagging me off outside a pub. Saying, Danny Dyer, fuck Danny Dyer, this, that, and the other. Weird feelings. I'm 2 foot away. So now we're going to move on now, and we're going to go to the club now. Now, I also walked past a few birds who were going, I think Danny Dyer's down the syndicate tonight, which freaked me out because I thought, OK, word's got out. But they're not going to be expecting me to be like this, I'm hoping, you know what I mean?
As I head through the cordon, the other doormen don't bat an eyelid.
How are you, lads? All right, so you love good man, yeah?
I'm relieved. It means I can just concentrate on the job. Once we're on the door, I take a back seat so I can observe Steve. He's looking for troublemakers, drunks, and the underage chancers. As the place starts to get busy, my nerves begin to kick in. Steve's in his element. He's very relaxed. I guess for him, this is very quiet.
What's interesting though, Steve, I mean, do you prefer it quiet like this? I mean, it's easier, it's an easier night, but I think you want to...
Yeah, it's boring.
Boring though, yeah, I can imagine.
Obviously, when you've got nice people coming in, it's great evening. When you've got dickheads after dickheads, it can get to you a bit.
Sometimes you get nights where you have an hour of just dickheads coming through the door, just like, oh, it's one of them nights, is it?
Here's a picture here.
You've been caught out, mate. You've been caught out.
They surround me. Thankfully, they're armed with cameras and not bottles.
You don't get a picture if you know. You go.
I mean, that was nothing. It wasn't even a scuffle. What if those lads had fancied a tear-up? You're a target out here, and the violence can come from anywhere.
The worst time, the closing time, when they're all kicking out on the streets.
And they're all fucked. They'll get a bit brave, and someone's been looking at someone's bird, and someone, But then I suppose it's not your job then, is it? You just got to stand there, and I'm going to be asked, obviously, being a gentleman, if it does come on top, you've done it before, you'll get involved. But actually, you've got to let them do it, haven't you? You can't fight every battle in Blackpool, mate.
At the end of the night, you don't want to be getting locked up or, it's over as far as you're concerned.
Of course.
Standing here at the front of the club, I feel exposed. If someone's looking to cause trouble, they know where to find you. A problem Steve knows all too well.
The modern doorman is still a target. I mean, a group of kids will get together, let's go to so-and-so and do the doorman. Because it's a good night out.
I've had a small glimpse of Steve's life. It's an interesting but dangerous one. I came here with a preconceived view on bouncers. I thought they were just thugs who stopped you enjoying yourself. What I've learned is if you've had a good night out, it's because the doormen have done a good job. I never got a chance to see how Steve deals with trouble, which I wish I could have seen. He's a gentleman, but he leaves me in no doubt that he can turn it on when he wants to.
The family comes first, always have. But I still like to enjoy myself, have a nice time. I'd like to go on holidays, I like to drive a nice car, so, but as it is at the moment, I'm doing it all legally. But, still got the balaclava.
I'm going to be living with Bernardo Mahoney, a man whose life has revolved around crime and violence.
I was done for robbery, lots and lots of grievous bodily harms.
His CV reads like a character from a carnage-ridden road movie. soldier in Northern Ireland, football hooligan in London, gun-toting doorman in Johannesburg.
Another decade of fucking madness, really, with gangs, stabbings, shootings.
But overshadowing all of this is his association and acrimonious split from the infamous gangsters known as the Essex Boys.
That's when my phone started ringing, you know. We're going to fucking shoot you, we're going to fucking do you.
The Essex grapevine still buzzes with rumour and hearsay about them. And as I approach this journey, thoughts cloud my mind. I've been hearing things. People have told me that Bernard isn't all that he claims to be.
And the weird thing for me is, for the first time, I've been getting phone calls about this guy. I'm being told things, he's a grass, he's a fake, he's living on the back of this, you know, this idea of the Essex Boys, and, you know, bad reviews, really. So, you know, it's not healthy for me, really, to be going to meet this guy with this stuff going on in my mind. So I've got to take him at face value. I've got to give the guy a shot, but, you know, I'm getting sort of negative thoughts before I've even met him, and that's a weird, strange feeling, you know. I don't like going to work this way.
But then he shows me something that turns my stomach.
This is such a weird thing.
Bernard was once a pen pal of the Yorkshire Ripper, Peter Sutcliffe.
The murder victim was identified tonight as 20-year-old Jacqueline Hill, a student who had been living in the Headingley area of the city.
Sutcliffe murdered 13 women between 1975 to 1980. Although deemed sane at his trial, he was later sent to Broadmoor Psychiatric Hospital. It's one of the most surreal moments I've ever experienced. Here I am leafing through letter after letter written by one of Britain's most notorious serial killers.
I mean, just look, I mean, it's Peter Sutcliffe's handwriting. Strange to just think that that's a man that has killed many people, you know, for many years. I have vastly changed from my attitudes of 10 or 11 years ago. I was tragically misguided in those days about certain matters. I know that only too well. Oh, it's terrible. I feel ill reading it. Lots of love and fondest thoughts always, Peter.
Bernard thought his letters would result in selling a story to the papers, but nothing came of it. He realised, however, that by this method, he could get detailed information from prisoners. He began writing to Richard Blenky, who was awaiting trial for the murder of a 7-year-old child, and who Bernard believed was guilty.
Over a period of time, he wrote and told me in detail what had happened to this boy. And a week before the trial, I wrote to him. I said, look, I fucking know you lied. You did it, didn't you? And he wrote back, he went, yeah, I've done it. And I got in touch with the police, give him the letter. And they confronted him with the letter on the morning of the trial. And he's there to plead not guilty. And it's something that sticks with me. The boy's father said it was the best feeling in my life, he said, because I knew he was guilty. The police know he's guilty. To hear him stand there and say, yeah, I did it, he said it was like fucking... Yeah. And he can't appeal, can he?
No, of course not.
So it's a great... I do get a lot of pleasure out of it, yeah. It's a fucking great feeling.
For me, before I've met you, for the first time and anyone I've met, I'm getting bad vibes off people, telling me this, that and the other about you. Now, I've got to take people on face value at the end of the day.
Yeah, if I just stop you there, Danny, this is the crux of the problem. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
For no man, or what he thinks of me. I'm my own man. But there are people who say, oh, he's this, he's that, he's that. But I'm doing that book Faces, and I've got every top villain in the country's agreed to do it. So the people who tend to sit and talk shit about me are really the people who don't fucking matter, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it, you know what I mean? When it comes to caring and sleepless nights, there is no one. There is no one.
Life's too fucking short, Bernard. Don't worry about that. Life is too short, mate.
Bernard's involvement in crime has resulted in him being threatened on several occasions. One example is this incident caught on CCTV. It shows Bernard being attacked with a pepper spray outside a nightclub. His response proved that he's not someone to be trifled with.
you ever worry about him, Bernard? You ever worry just because of
People who...
the books he's wrote and the people he's upset? You know, which Bernard, you know, he takes it with a pinch of salt. But yourself, I mean, that's your man, isn't it? So
That phone call, I was a bit concerned of. But then again, and I'll think, well, he knows how to handle them sort of people. So in a sense, not really, because I know he can talk to them in the way they would expect him to. So
and you would know if he was worried.
you would get a feeling in any way, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? On something, and then I would say like, oh.
But no one's ever going to hurt you. Going to ring you up and warn you.
No.
Nah.
When
just
they
all
ring you
talk,
up, I
and
just
it's
go,
silly talk. But
another fool who's had too much coke.
and I think as well, if it was going to happen, and they're going to say it was going to happen, it would have already happened in any way, wouldn't it?
Speaking to Bernard about this, I realise we have something in common. He's been called this, that and the other and judged by people who don't know him. It's something that I get from doing these shows.
Well, it's this thing that I have to deal with is this tough guy image, right? A hard man, you know, and this is what the press label you as, right? You know, it's always in my mind that someone's going to have a pop at me, you know, thinking that, look, I'm not a mug or nothing like that. I'm from Canning Town, but I've always swerved that life, you know? And so I always read things about me, and it's Danny Dyer in brackets, tough guy actor, which is complete bollocks. And it frustrates me, you know? I'm a sensitive soul. And I suppose making these shows don't help me at all, but the reason I do make these shows is to show a different side to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving it the big one. I mean, you know, when I met people like Paddy, you know, I felt like a little girl around him. You know, and I wasn't afraid to say that, you know? It's important that I try and get that across, you know? So
it doesn't matter what Mr. X thinks of me or this gang think of me. I don't go to bed worrying about him, do you know what I mean?
I mean, was you involved with the drug side of it? Was you know, just on the door? I mean, how deep was you?
In 1986, I was released from prison and new beginning, new start. Jumped on a train and headed to Essex.
Once again, Bernard's wanderlust brought him back into contact with violence when he became a bouncer at Raquel's nightclub in Basildon.
At the time, it was like stilettos and fucking drunks, basically, you know what I mean? They're either trying to fuck each other or fight each other.
Yeah.
But everything was about to change. Something arrived that revolutionised clubbing. And it wasn't headscarves.
What it done is it changed clubbers. It changed, you know, what they was doing when they was in a club.
And the monsters turned into mice overnight, do you know what I mean?
They did, didn't they?
Hugging each other and loving each other.
And the mice needed feeding. Now Bernard didn't have to worry about tear-ups and chucking people out. It was all about making money from ecstasy. He joined forces with Tony Tucker and they controlled the drug trade inside Raquel's.
I said, you know, you can have your bit on the side, the gear, and I'll run the door and we'll all be happy, do you know what I mean? Because it was a big club, it attracted like promoters, rave promoters, because they thought, oh, it's a peaceful club, Tucker runs it, everything will be sweet, all the drugs in it. It worked really well.
Things came to a head when 18-year-old Leah Betts became an unwitting anti-drugs poster girl. After taking an ecstasy tablet, she fell into a coma.
Police warned that they suspected the ecstasy tablet was contaminated with another substance.
The police believed that the type of pill she had taken was being sold in Raquel's. They approached Bernard about getting hold of one for analysis.
I've got this dilemma. Is it a dilemma? Not really. There's a young girl dying. Do I help her or do I adhere to this bollocks mythical underworld code where you don't talk to the police, you don't grass, you don't do this, you don't... I knew they wouldn't be happy about it, but I said, I'll try and get you one. I said to the police, I'll try and get you one of these pills. Helps the girl, great, you know what I mean?
Bernard couldn't get his hands on one of the pills, but as far as the Essex boys were concerned, he'd spoken to the police, and so he was a grass.
But when Tucker and Tate and the others heard that, I'd so openly agreed to assist the police, that's when my phone started ringing, you know. We're going to fucking shoot you, we're going to fucking do you.
But just a few weeks later, Bernard wouldn't have to worry about any threats. Someone went after him, and they didn't miss.
I've got to ask you, Bernard, I mean, for me, you seem to know so much about it. I mean, it's almost as if you're standing there watching it happen. I mean, how do you know that this is how it took place? How do you know? I mean, well, because guesswork or what?
No. People talk, don't they? And you know, over the last 15 years, I've got a good good idea of what happened, and if I knew who'd done it, I wouldn't tell, because I honestly think whoever did it did the world a favour, you know what I mean?
I came into this thinking that Bernard could be a grass and a fake. I've listened to his story, and I believe that he did what he felt he had to do. He lives by a complex code, which appears contradictory. On the one hand, he has roots in violent criminality, and on the other, he seeks to right injustices. It's not always easy to do the right thing, especially when people are looking to kill you for doing it.